Hello, everyone, and welcome in to the Thursday morning stream. It is August 22nd. We are 14 days away from the Kansas City Chiefs kicking off against the Baltimore Ravens. Best Ball Mania is 79% full right now. I've got time left to go, guys. I've got drafts left to go. I was thinking when we started streaming, like, oh, what if I run out of bullets? Now I'm having the opposite thought. What if I run out of time? So we're going to be knocking some out today. I'm going to be back tomorrow, hopefully back Saturday and Sunday. Honestly, I think I'm going to try and do all of my remaining drafts on stream. That's not a promise. That is a wish. I'm going to be joined by Jakob Sanderson today. We are going to think about thinking. Then I'm going to be joined by Dwain McFarland from Fantasy Life. Then the last draft is going to be, if we can fill it, it'll be a big dog. If we can't fill it, I have to leave today, 1 p.m. Central sharp, so I can go pick up my new puppy. Mahomes is flipped on the thumbnail. You'll see why if you look at the thumbnail. If he wasn't flipped, Dwayne's shoulder is cut off in the image that I did, so I had to flip him to have Mahomes' foot cover. And I am joined this morning by Jakob Sanderson, who is in a sauna hammering some peanut butter toast. Jakob, how are you doing on this fine Thursday morning?
Yeah, this is the mother's basement week back home in Winnipeg podcasting setup, which is the glorious sauna look here in the basement. So pumped to be here, excited. This has been a very, very fun week of seeing some family and ripping just
I was going to say you have to be in so many drafts right now without working. This has to be like Draft Central for you.
Like I've never done more drafts, and I've certainly never done more streamed drafts. Like it has been every single day. Like all I'm doing every day is like trying to fit like a game of Tetris, seeing relatives and doing best ball drafts and like making those two things work as much as humanly possible. So like basically every day we're ripping drafts. Yeah.
All right. Before we hop in, I have not gotten a chance to watch this yet. I need you to fill me in on the lore because multiple people told me to ask you about this, that I need to, that you rage quit a draft with Ron and Liam the other night. So I need the lore before I watch.
So I can't recommend strongly enough to people to watch this stream. It is like easily the most entertaining stream that I've ever been a part of, in my opinion. So we drafted a main event team on Monday night, live on stream. It was on Ron's YouTube. It was also on Liam's YouTube. And it was like honestly a little bit reminiscent of the draft that you did with Liam and Co last year, in which like no one was agreeing on anything.
Oh, so me and Kyle versus, because Kyle and I don't always agree. So if it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
So
continue.
Yours was definitely funnier, but it was the same vibe of like three people who like each other but are just not on the same page for a fantasy football draft. So we started like having very contentious arguments starting like round 2. Anyway, the breaking point was we end up getting to this. Liam wins an argument on Caleb Williams versus taking Raheem Mostert and trying to push Caleb Williams. And so later, we now have Caleb Williams as our quarterback. Ron and I want to do a QB2. Liam wants to ride with solo Caleb.
Yeah, I'm probably already on Team Liam, knowing nothing else.
So I'm pushing a Justin Fields pick here pretty late into the draft.
Okay.
And Ron's on board with that. Liam wants to do Elijah Mitchell after we've already taken Jordan Mason. And we have the vote. We win the vote 2-1. But sure enough, we auto pick Elijah Mitchell. Literally 2 seconds after I see the like auto pick of Elijah Mitchell come on stream, I just go like, what the and then like my laptop dies, so I just drop from the stream. So it looks like I just like rage quit out of anger with Liam. I come back on the stream about a minute and a half later. I'm like, just to be clear, I didn't rage quit the stream. I am mad, but I'm not that mad that I left the stream. And then in the meantime, Ronald had contacted FFPC support to wind back the clock.
I've done that move before.
Which was so embarrassing.
Here's the thing: if you do that, You better be very fucking confident in your pick, because if not, it will become a joke between you and your co-managers, to which, Jacob, I still remember the only time I've ever done that in FFPC history. It's got to be the saddest thing anyone's ever done. We auto-drafted Eric Ebron, and we wanted Kalen Ballage. And I made the FFPC person, the helper, roll it back so that we could add Miami Dolphins Kalen Ballage to our roster instead of Eric Ebron. Not pretty.
The greatest part is right after that, Crack Rock was in the same draft as us. He was picking from the 10 slot. He starts like roasting us in the chat, and then some other guy I think starts talking back to Crack Rock, and eventually they start getting in this like war of insults that was hilarious. Like we had the FFPC like chat monitor guy threatening to kick them from the draft. It was a real great last hour on that one, but nothing's gonna happen like that today. You know, there's no $2,000 on the line. There's no commissioner we can ask to wind back our picks. We're on our own.
And I have great news for you. We did not get the 112. You did not come on the stream. We got the 1-7. I've been getting extremely lucky at the 1-7 on these stream drafts for like the last week, where we've been able to get Chase, we've been able to get Jefferson, we've been able to get St. Brown. We basically have avoided the Bijan Robinson and Breece Hall vortex, which is not to say that those guys are bad picks. I like picking those guys. The issue just remains in the third round with those guys, where if you were in a Piss Boys Avalanche style room for that, then you end up having to pass on Kyren Williams there and take Tank Dell.
What a bummer.
Yeah, I am woke. I mean, I'm pretty woke to Kyren Williams. Although we streamed a $350 online championship last night, and we took. I mean, the crazy thing about drafting on NFC is that Deebo Samuel is a third round pick, so it almost doesn't even matter who else is on the board. It's just like my team's already come preloaded, and Kyren Williams was there, and it was 3 co-managers, and 2 of the co-managers didn't even think about Kyren Williams. We just were like, snap Deebo, and the third co-manager could not let it go for the remainder of the draft. He's like, we just passed on Kyren Williams, and we can't, obviously oh shit. All right, Justin Jefferson goes.
That sucked. I'm Breece Hall, but I don't really care between the 2 running backs.
So I did the same thing yesterday. I took Breece instead of Bijan just for balancing it out, because I've got Bijan over Breece, and I mostly for 90% of the offseason have just been straight drafting off my rankings. And unlike Justin Jefferson over Amon-Ra St. Brown and over Jamar Chase, that is not a spot that I want to have 90-10 pushing into the season, because I think it's so close. The Jefferson thing, I'm totally comfortable just being like, I've got $3,000 worth of Justin Jefferson teams, and I've got $150 of Chase teams. Like, that is a fine split to me.
Yeah, that's one where I feel very uncertain. I've had Breece out of Bijan all year, but it's like a 51-49 type of feeling. I've been pretty closely monitoring my exposures. Like, I want to end up with like 9% Breece Hall and 7% Bijan Robinson. I
think Breece is the better player, but then every contextual factor goes to Breece. Like, literally name any contextual factor, and I give it all to Breece.
What about 14 carries per game to Tyler Algier?
Yeah, that is beat writers. Beat writers are I've been doing this long enough that I just know beat writers just can't do it. They don't have a sense of how many plays are run in a game. They don't have a sense of how many plays are run over the course of a season. It's extreme vibes based. Sean, please tell me this is not true. We'll come back to this. We will come back to the puppy, because I'm gonna do something in the puppy later today. All right, Nico.
I think you might just get hit with the Nico.
Okay, let me propose one other thing.
Sure.
Breece, A-Chain, and we do a hyper fragile. We only take 4 running backs.
I'm like good to do it just just to see how it works out. Sure.
Yeah, so the reason why I would say that we can do this is we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 no Badgers in this. So I think we are less likely to get buried by the Avalanche.
Yeah,
always possible.
I've been doing some more running back stuff recently. Like, I was on stream with Ben yesterday, and he likes Kyren Williams like infinitely more than I do. And we took him twice in the third round and like didn't pay a wide receiver price for it at all, which was nice. And I've been trying to see if maybe there's some running back builds to do this time of year. You can like being able to get like Lad McConkey reliably now, kind of in the mid to late 7th, feels substantially better than what we were getting.
Okay. This is an issue because my plan is I've got 91 puppy threes left to go. My plan was I am leaving today at 1:00 when I'm done. I'm going to make all my slow draft picks. And then I was going to just register 91 fast puppies and auto draft them with, I was going to move Xavier Worthy like ahead of Olave just so I literally get him on every team. And, but if it's only slows, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. So I hope that they figure it out. Willis, I have seen the new ship chasing Xavier Worthy clip.
Oh, dude, I watched that live, and that was like, Davis, you've been entertaining many times in your life. I don't think you've ever been better.
Pretty high.
And saying every time I get sniped on Xavier Worthy, I do my next draft to many men. That was the best you've ever been.
This is a great comment. This is the leftist version of a running back start. So true. At 100%. The true running back start includes Jonathan Taylor. When you do it with Brees and A-Chain, that's a ship
Brees and A-Chain. We're like Tim Walz trying to bring back patriotism. Like,
yeah.
We're
not going to get punished. We're going to be fine.
Yeah, there is. So I'm like firmly Ayuk here, but I see that he's not at the top of your rankings.
He's not. Okay. So potentially need to rework. I moved Brandon Ayuk down with all the trade stuff because any place that he could get traded was so bad. Like all of the rumored destinations for him to get traded was like, I wouldn't take that guy in the 5th round, like awful stuff. I still am 100% team Debo over Brandon Ayuk, assuming they are both 49ers. I also, you maybe tell me if this is too woke. I think Shanahan is such a meticulous play caller that just not having Brandon Ayuk for any portion of the offseason will naturally mean that there's less Brandon Ayuk involved in the offense at the start of the season, that it's going to be much more Kittle and Debo heavy than it would have been had this been a normal offseason. Is that too woke?
No, I don't think that's too woke. I was, prior to any of this holdout stuff, I was firmly Ayuk over Debo, but I was also just a lot of other guys in the 2nd round over any 49ers receiver. At this point, I would be Debo or Ayuk for that reason. I do expect them to both be on the 49ers. I still don't really click a lot of Debo because I just like Waddle and Collins very clearly better.
Yeah.
Ayuk's the one I'm clicking now because he's the one that goes in like,
the 3rd round.
Like now it's like Debo versus Collins and Waddle, who are like my 2 favorite players to click, and it's Ayuk versus like Mike Evans and Devonta Smith. So whereas Debo I'm just going to get my exposure to Debo in high stakes where he's not
free.
drafted in the 2nd round.
He's literally free
in the mid to late 3rd. So to me, it's just like, all right, great. I'm not going to pay the early 2nd round best ball price for him. I'll get him in mid to late 3rd.
Okay.
Did you see Pure Potential's comment, by the way? That was why I was laughing my ass off during your Brandon Ayuk comment.
I was on vacation, man.
I was not terminated from my law firm. On vacation, I will admit in the previous weeks that I was definitely, well, the thing is I stream with Davis exclusively at 7 a.m. Pacific time so that I can wake up, stream, and then go to work. So that's the case on those ones.
We do sadly have to take T. Higgins. Shout
out to Sam Sherman. I don't sadly have to take T. Higgins. I have 23% T. Higgins.
Oh my God. Whew. That's crazy. I mean, no, it's not crazy.
He's just the same bet he's always been, and he's priced down around and a half because he got hurt more than usual last year.
Well, maybe, and hey, if I'm gonna apply the holdout logic to Chase, then I should apply it to T Higgins as well.
Mhm.
That would be fair. I don't know
All
if I
of the
like being
reports
fair
from
to T
camp are
Higgins.
glowing. That this
They
is like
are.
T.
They are.
Higgins
That's true.
is a man possessed. He wants to prove himself this year, get himself paid. Like this is the year for T. Higgins to tell his hamstrings to cooperate.
Best clicks on the board in underdog are, I don't know. This is a very efficient market right now. I think
Yeah, kind of agree.
it's like I like a lot of the drafts I'm doing, but it's hard for me to say like, oh, one guy is like really incredible. I mean, I think the round 5 tight ends, Pitts, Kincaid, Andrews, Kittle, even, I think they're all quite good. I think the Bears wide receivers are all really good clicks. I think Caleb is a really good click. I don't know. It'd be hard for me to say the absolute best pick on the board. Now, high stake stuff is very different. That is not an efficient
There's a
market.
lot of best picks on the board there.
People are really bad at I've been getting, these texts from my friends who are doing their home leagues and like looking at all the ADP, and I've got that cheat sheet with all the like basically just ADP aggregates, and it's like, dude, you could take like 5 straight running backs and still beat your league at wide receiver because of how inefficient the ADP is. It's kind of crazy.
I think probably the 2 players that I'm going to draft to collect the most right now are Brian Thomas and Ken Walker, because they're 2 guys that I think all the news on in the last 2 weeks has just been extremely positive, but I don't think that their prices have really moved to reflect it. Like it's not, whereas like Rice and Worthy, like I want to be going to drafts to click Rice and Worthy, but I'm with 11 of my closest friends who have also entered this draft exclusively to click Rice and Worthy. So whereas Walker, you could just consistently get at the 5-6 turn, Thomas at the 6-7 turn, and those guys to me should be kind of screaming up boards based on the information we're getting out of those camps.
Yeah, this is so annoying. Now you can't even get Worthy here anymore.
That is aggravating.
Lamar, Fat Keenan, Pitts, Kirk, Rome.
I guess I'd be like Kirk, but that doesn't feel great here.
No, dude, we're trying to win.
Dude, we're not gonna take Rome. We can just take Rome in the next round, man.
All right. Or we're taking Kirk.
Look at this. We're not gonna take the most expensive Rome and Doomsday in this whole tournament.
Eliminator ass pick right there, Christian Kirk.
Look, we're drafting an eliminator ass team. We're
it's true.
Wide receiver 3 here. We started RBRB.
No, that's true. That's true.
We gotta get some usable weeks, my friend.
Yeah. Apparently Fast Puppy is back. I'm not gonna be taking any Darnell Washington. I'd like to take Darnell Washington, don't get me wrong. I actually like unironically enjoyed Darnell Washington as a prospect. I kind of thought it was possible for him, but he sadly is too good at blocking, like way too good at blocking, that he will never be freed. Brock Bowers is the platonic ideal of a tight end prospect because he's good at blocking, but he's not like the best blocker on the entire team.
What's the deal with his foot soreness, by the way? Do you have a feel for that? I've been choosing to pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah, it feels like just an excuse for him to not play in the preseason game. Okay. That's all.
Good.
Did not seem like a serious deal.
Yeah, and they just precautionary. Got a foot injury. We want to protect him. So that sounds all right.
I mean, they listed Adams with a fake injury too.
Okay.
Good. So I'm not sweating it. Felt like, oh, let's put him out there in the first game. Let's run his little fullback route. Make sure that he can all do it. And it is what it is. I remain very bullish.
So you're a full believer in the Fat Keenan theory, hey?
I'm not a full believer in the Fat Keenan theory. I mean, I do think there's like enough smoke to be like, I don't know, maybe
someone's got a Bears triple stack out of the 11. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. But all right, all wide receivers, whoever you want.
Oh man, I don't know. Who do you like most? I'd probably be like Jaden Reed or Brian Thomas.
Reed gives us another quarterback out for a quarterback I really like.
Yeah,
agreed. So I'm going to do that. So here's the deal. Here's the deal with Keenan. I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to start the year well. I'm a big believer in Caleb, but I now am at the guy who's losing the snaps in the 2 wide receiver sets in the weeks that matter is going to be Keenan, not Rome.
Yeah, so this is the thing that I think has gone a little bit maybe underappreciated or just not priced in enough. So to me, with the Bears stuff, the big winner is DJ Moore because he has 2 things working for him. One, maybe Keenan is wash. I don't really believe that there's all that much evidence of that. That's actually compelling, but might be the case. 2, the big one is Shane Waldron has told us now that basically on probably like 30 to 40% of the routes, we should be expecting him to be competing for targets with 1 of the other very good receivers and 2 tight ends instead of 2 of the other very good wide receivers and 1 tight end. So that's pretty big.
I got a small little bit of pushback to that, which is that stat that's going around about all of the 2 tight end stuff is not adjusting for who the quarterback is. So it's counting the Tyson Bagent. Oh damn, I forgot the third quarterback. Not like me to forget the name of the third quarterback of the Chicago Bears.
No one's gonna disappointed in you on that take. That's gonna be fine.
Yeah, but so that stat that Ian tweeted and that other people have been circulating about them being dead last in 11 personnel.
Man. This is awesome. I mean, I would be Brian Thomas because we got the double stack there, and I like him more. But I'm also like JSN here.
No, I'm trying to get more. I mean, this range is so comfortable now that you can get these guys in the 7th round.
Yeah.
So yes, Austin Reed. That was why I was disappointed in myself for not remembering, because Austin Reed was a fun college quarterback at Western Kentucky. So
yeah.
I am not really sweating the 12 personnel stuff. If it's Shane Waldron really is that stubborn about using Gerald Everett instead of one of these 3 all-world wide receivers, then whatever. Send this guy to jail. I don't know. Like, I guess maybe there's an element of when a coach tells you who he is, you should believe him.
Believe him.
But
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, he had one of the best 11 personnel groups in the NFL last year. And he didn't care, right? Like he looked at JSN and he was like, I would like to play Colby Parkinson and Will Dissly.
So I'm gonna go look these numbers up right now, because my guess is that is a little overblown because JSN just did not add very many counting stats. What percentage of snaps do you think that Jackson Smith and Jigba played last year for the Seattle Seahawks? Remembering that he was a rookie, remembering that he came back from an injury.
I'm going to guess like 72.
Yeah, 64%, 79% for Metcalf, 79% for Lockett. So definitely a decrease, but not
the Rams.
Yeah, I guess for the way these guys are priced. Okay.
Bowers or Love?
Welcome to the team, Brock. Pick 90.
There we go.
Beautiful.
I finally caught Brock Bowers up to my highest drafted tight end. And I did it not by being patient, but by acknowledging that his ADP in my rooms is about 79 and drafting him at 78 as needed. So
these are passable snap shares for where Rome is being priced right now. It's not great. 65 to 70% of the total snaps is not great. But if you are assuming that a large portion of those are coming on passing situations, it's not really that bad. Yeah. It's not ideal. I'm not saying like, oh, you should have no concerns, but it's not like Shane Waldron put JSN in the shadow realm for playing time. He put him in the shadow realm for the type of routes he was running and where he was being targeted.
Yeah, but those might be Keenan routes now. So
yes, those might be Keenan routes. I mean, they could be DJ Moore routes. DJ Moore is built like a running back. DJ Moore is 6 feet, 220 pounds.
So the really nice thing that happened for us here is that Christian Watson was taken by the McLaurin team. So he had a choice of quarterback and he chose Jaden Daniels. So Jordan Love, we're potentially going to get at a massive value here.
Gosh,
stacked up.
Beautiful.
Nice.
I love that. I just love when a play. Is there anything better than these 8th round, 9th round, 10th round picks when there's 2 guys you really want? You take the one guy and then the other guy comes back around to you. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful feeling.
it really feels nice. This, like, I have not done a lot of running back teams this year.
Yeah, we're kind of cooking right now.
Like, last time I was on your stream, we drafted the worst team that's ever been drafted.
Yeah, it was really bad.
And this team is so much better than that scrubby team. That's for sure.
Those early, the early August drafts were the worst combination of all the grinders were still drafting, like all the grinders were still drafting, and the casuals were taking the quarterbacks super high. So it was just like the worst nutted mix. I also have started to enter the Best Ball Mania off camera so that it's not all people in the stream, which is like, not that I don't love you guys.
I think it's good that you should do that because it allows you to give better advice to the comment sections because you're not living in an alternate reality. Like to advise the people, you must walk among them.
Yeah. A stream draft. It's really come or go. Like I did a big dog yesterday, and one guy was just like, "Oh, you need Drake May? Let me take Drake May in the 13th round. You want which is like, I mean, obviously the team I ended up being fine. I think it ended up being pretty good, but it is just a little annoying for everyone involved. I mean, it should be annoying for the guy drafting the dead team also.
But that they don't get annoyed.
They don't get annoyed. Yeah, they're like whatever. I think there's a pretty
clear player who we're taking this round. That's for sure.
Yeah, we'll see what Top Pearl does.
Some might think that it's the stacked quarterback, but I think that those people would be incorrect.
Those people would be mistaken. Setting the min pick on Dontavian. Oh, this motherfucker. There you go.
What an absolute
there's your stream draft. All right, we can take either of the stacked
really
quarterbacks.
Want to take the quarterback because we can get one of them to come back to us. But is there anyone worth? I mean, maybe we could do Goddard or no. There's so many good tight ends late.
It would be Dowdle. Dowdle would be the
Let's just do Dowdle quarterback.
Then. Yeah.
We're gonna get one of these quarterbacks next round, especially because we have Lawrence double stacked. I don't know who else is. So we have Ingram drafter with Richardson is maybe looking at him. I'm pretty sure the Debo drafter's on the other side of the room. Kittle drafter's on the other side of the room.
Debo drafter's right here.
Oh, he's the Debo and Kittle drafter, but he's not going to pick again before we come up. So
yeah, Purdy is yeah. We also it depends how woke Jacob is. I don't know. I don't know if he's.
I have a last round pick that is auto preloaded on every roster of mine right now, and it's not those guys, but it is correlated to Jordan Love, so we'll be taking him.
I kind of liked this guy as a prospect. It's like total. I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. You know that if a guy is like vaguely interesting to you as a prospect, it doesn't matter if it's 3 years later, he's on his third team. He's totally washed out. You know, like it kind of never leaves you.
Yeah, I was. Basically, like Ben and I did this big dog stream a while ago, and it was like right after Jalen Naylor had played in the first preseason game, and looked good. And so we took him with our last pick on that team. And then as an exercise in like bag defending, I've just convinced myself that Jalen Naylor is like not only a viable 18th round pick, but the best steal that we've ever gotten in a draft. And now I've just been taking him in every single draft. I'm just like mainlining Jalen Naylor camp hype constantly. I'm like entering drafts to draft Jalen Naylor right now. I'm so convinced that my evaluation of him as a prospect was perfect.
Incredible.
We got our run out here.
Honestly, we could take either. We could take either one of them.
More like Purdy's the ADP value, but we have Lawrence double stacked. I don't really know which one is the better option.
The math would definitely say you want the double stack, right?
I'm inclined to agree with that.
But Purdy is just better. Like I guess that's.
I don't know if he is just better. I think I kind of just think Lawrence is better.
Okay, well,
Purdy goes. So our decision is made for us.
Yeah, Purdy goes unstacked, uncorrelated to a team with 2 Denver Broncos, Kyler Murray, Cooper Kupp, and Justin Jefferson. Seems ill-advised. Seems ill-advised at best, but also sometimes Leone's study did find that one of the biggest predictors of advance rate and of successful teams was real-time ADP value, like teams that just generate a ton of real-time ADP value. So fairly interesting.
This team rocks so hard. So we have Jordan Love stacked with Jaden Reed. We have Lawrence double stacked with Kirk and Thomas. We just got to start working in some bringbacks here. So we got to find a Broncos running back at some point. We're not going to be drafting a Saint. We got a couple Viking options.
Why do we need a Broncos running back? Oh, for
Higgins. Yeah. I'm just looking at all of our different bringbacks. So we could use a Brown at some point here. We could use a Bill at some point here.
They both mattered. They both mattered, Dan. Both CLV and real time value mattered. Obviously the ideal is both, but they both matter.
Yeah, draft with this many non-badges to get 2 quarterbacks that, well, at least I really like. Maybe you also really like, and stacked and after ADP feels.
You are so much of a
heist.
You are so much of a Debbie bro that you'll never be able to quit Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence, like, I think my highest drafted quarterback this year. Yeah,
this is
one time, Trevor.
I don't know. I've not used the Best Ball Explorer. I'll log in. Maybe we'll do that later. I'll find my best and my worst CLV team. I'm gonna guess I've got a shit ton of very good CLV teams with Worthy and with Rice, and some really bad CLV teams with Hollywood Brown.
All of your Worthy teams are gonna just be like good CLV, bad real-time ADP value.
Bad real-time ADP? Yeah.
Like, it'll be like, I reached for him 8 picks ahead of his ADP, but it's also 4 picks behind his current
Not a great spot for wide receiver here.
If we have Chandler bring back, maybe.
Chandler, I might like Hawkinson better on this team.
Hawkinson, I think I'd be Musgrave over Hawkinson, but
okay, I don't know. No, that's fine. All right, Chandler or Jalen Wright.
I don't like Wright with Achane really.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, we'll do Chandler. Set up a bring back.
I don't mind. I'll do Wright and Mostert, but
I agree.
Not big on Wright and Achane. I think if we're drafting Achane in the second, he needs to stay healthy and good all year.
I guess what you have to imagine is there a genie going back in the bottle with Wright? So like let's say Achane gets hurt in week 4, comes back in week 7, and Jalen Wright plays well, but not like Achane last year. Not like completely insane. Just like plays well, but not goes nuclear. Does it become 3 guys playing? Does it become Mostert playing less? Does it become Achane playing less? Does it become like I don't really know. I don't really know where it comes from.
I'm not sure. I guess my theory on it is just Achane's the most expensive, right? He's going in the mid-second. I think for that pick to hit, part of the equation is that Mostert's role scales down a little bit, and then you kind of have to hope that comes with more Achane instead of just Wright comes in at Mostert's expense and Achane stays slotted for exactly what he is. Whereas, Mostert and Wright, I think works plenty fine. Like, because, Achane gets hurt. Like if we knew right now that Achane misses like 8 games this year or something, then we're drafting Mostert in like the 5th round and we're drafting Wright in like the 9th round. So I think it's totally fine. And at those prices, even if they aren't like the big winner at the same time, it hits.
I mean, Wright has like so many outs. Wright has like the double injury outs for the oldest running back in the NFL, a running back who got injured twice last year and got injured his final year in college. He's also got performance outs. Like, what if Mostert just loses a step?
Right.
Mostert is a track and field guy from Purdue who's 32 years old. He could just lose it at any time. And Achane could, I mean, I don't think this could happen, but he definitely could play poorly. It's possible.
It is conceivably possible.
I think there's a podium pick here for us.
I agree. Yeah.
and it's not Luke Musgrave, unless you really want him.
That was going to be my pick, but I'm very open to your podium pick.
Musgrave sets us up for double tight end week 10 buys. I think when you come on the stream, it's got to be Leggett.
I mean, no objection.
Yeah,
no objection.
I went literally from having, I think none of him, I think 0 of him, to being like it now. Like he's like my most overweight wide receiver in the range. I actually,
Keenan Allen is your most overweight wide receiver.
I am not that hype on Musgrave. I think Musgrave is totally fine. He's very rarely a podium pick for me.
He's a podium pick for me when I have Love. Like it's like any cheap tight end that I can just kind of tack on to a stack. I'm prioritizing at that point. I'm not too worried about the week 10 buy thing because frankly, like the late tight ends, I just feel like are kind of better picks than the late wide receivers.
Oh, sure. So yeah. This is
starting with Bowers as tight end 1. It's a 3 tight end team anyway to me. The one thing I'm pretty sure of is that Tucker Kraft is not just better. Like he had some weeks where he consolidated routes, but like his per route stuff was not as impressive as Musgrave's. And just watching them, like Musgrave just moves way more fluidly than Tucker Kraft does. Like Tucker Kraft kind of moves like a dad runner. I think he's like probably a better blocker.
If there's a position that you want a dad runner at, it is definitely Green Bay Packers tight end.
Very much could be. Like the thing that Kraft has going for him is he's like the type of tight end that could play 95% of snaps because like he can block his ass off and he can like do the little like tight end shimmy into the flat situation. But Musgrave Musgrave is much more of like the I'm galloping down the seam for a 30-yard gain type of tight end.
He is going to be the high 8 out. Okay, I want to take Jalen Tolbert.
Sure.
It's uncorrelated. It doesn't do anything for us. But
I don't really get what's going on with this guy, but fine.
Do you want me to tell you?
All right, sure.
So did you read Sean's article about him from last week?
No, I did not. Please enlighten me.
I'll give you there's obviously the TLDR even for to be very long. The super TLDR is that basically he spent the entirety of the offseason working out with Dak in Dak's backyard. And Dak is like, I worked with CD last year. I worked with Dalton Schultz the year before. Every offseason, I work with one of the guys and they have a huge year. And this is Jalen Tolbert's year is the TLDR. To which I say that if you're going to proclaim to be a vibes-based drafter, as I do, and then not,
this is the new VBD.
Yeah, if you are not going to capitalize on that level of vibes, what are we even doing here?
My issue with Jalen Tolbert is that we have 2 years in the NFL,
and he's not
proving
good.
that he is quite bad. But I mean, I kind of almost have to be open-minded to the concept of Tolbert because I'm so against Cooks and Ferguson that like.
Oh, if you are against Cooks and Ferguson, you should be jamming Mr. Tolbert, I think.
Like, I mean, I obviously take a lot of CeeDee Lamb, and then I just generally kind of I'm like bearish on what the Cowboys do in the event that CeeDee Lamb gets hurt. I just think that the most likely scenario is that if CeeDee Lamb gets hurt, or if either CeeDee or Dak just doesn't play as well this year, that the Cowboys are probably just going to be low-key bad at football. But I
think that is not possible because I'm a Dak believer. By the way, this is what Dak's backyard looks like. Just someone asked.
I'm a Dak believer too, like, but I'm also like a Justin Herbert believer, and I don't like he had to play with a bunch of nothing, right? And that didn't go very well.
Well, okay, fair. That is a non-derogatory.
If CD plays 17 games, the Cowboys offense is going to be totally fine. Like I think Dak is good enough that he can. I think Dak and CD are good enough together that they can basically produce a top 10 EPA offense, solely the two of them. But if one of them gets hurt, I think that this ship starts to sink pretty quickly.
All right, what do you want to do here?
This feels like it could be a Lloyd pick. I don't know if there's another option here. We could maybe do Conklin.
We could do likely, give a little bit more ceiling. I guess we probably want some floor.
Yeah, I
actually.
mean, on a 3 tight end, I like Sanat more if we're going for ceiling, to be honest.
Boom. Ben Sinnott, welcome to the team.
And the other tight end that's just like, I don't know if people are watching this, probably not because you entered off stream, but the tight end that I think is just an auto click at the end of every draft right now, even if he's not correlated, is I don't know why Jahan Johnson is still going in like the 17th round.
Yeah, that is a great. I mean, he is 600 yards and 4 touchdowns. You can pretty much take that to the bank.
He's just like a 13th round tight end who got hurt, is no longer hurt, but we're still drafting as though he's hurt.
I wanted people to know that when the report is Jalen Tolbert has been running routes with Dak in his backyard, it's not like them barefoot playing, like throwing the ball into the pool. It's like Jalen Tolbert showed up to Dak Prescott's house with Gatorade and his workout bag, and they were really running routes and getting after it.
I'm in on this.
All right. Do we have any bye week problems? We do have 3 week 12 buys at wide receiver. We're good at tight end. We are good at quarterback.
The course of these streams, I don't care nearly enough about bye weeks. Like every time I do these streams with you and Ben, you guys are looking at the bye weeks, and that's clearly a leak in my game. What do we need to do here? So we need probably like one more running back, one more receiver, one more tight end. Is that the deal?
Yeah, exactly.
Is Yoshivas a bad pick with Higgins and no Burrow?
No, I think Yoshivas is a bad pick with Chase.
Okay.
Yoshivas is probably just a good pick, honestly.
All right. Are you more into Yoshivas than Burton? Because you used to be a big Burton bull.
That's the thing is I just if Jermaine Burton is who you need in 2024, my bases are well covered. If Andre Yoshivas is who you need in 2024, I have like no bases. I don't even have a comfy 4% exposure blanket. So
right. You're using me to get your blanket.
Well, I think probably right now Yoshivas with the information we have is the better pick.
So I've been kind of doing the opposite. I think Yoshivas is a little bit of a psyop. Not in the sense that I don't think he's going to play the more routes than Burton week 1. I think he absolutely is. I don't know. I'm not that. I think that more than likely Yoshivas is going to start playing. He's going to not earn a lot of volume because he's Andre Yoshivas, and then they're going to turn to the round 3 rookie. I hadn't really been drafting any Jermaine Burton when he was expensive. Because I was sort of mentioning some of the other names on the Cincy depth chart. People were laughing at me for doing so. Now is my time to like get my 10% Burton at like extremely low prices.
You can get like 18th round Burton. The only thing that makes me, not the only thing, but one of the reasons that I like Yoshivas is that I think this is why he was drafted. I think Burton was pretty clearly drafted with the idea of we develop this guy, we let him play as much as he can in year 1, but he's there so that we are not up the creek without a paddle when we let T. Higgins go. So all the rage right now is everyone using my bit of player is blank of blank. Andre Yoshivas is the Adam Thielen of Jeff Janis's.
Wow, that's a good call. I'm also really upset because I forgot we're not going to be able to get Jalen Naylor now.
We could be done at 4 running backs if we think that Breece Hall and Rico Dowdle are fine for week 6.
I'm happy to be done at running back if it means that we get Jalen Naylor on this team.
All right, well let's take our
This pick's got to be Jawan. You think it's Kraft over Jawan Johnson?
I think it's either of Jonnu or Jawan. I don't really care. I'm kind of into Jonnu right now. What do you think?
I mean, I think it's Jawan, but I draft Jawan like every time, so you could do Jonnu.
All right, so we just have to decide right now: do we want wide receiver, Minnesota Vikings wide receiver of your choice? Do we want a running back? Who's your? I did like this one. I did like Tank Dell as the AJ Brown of Tutu Atwells. I thought that was quite good. Good.
Is this an ADP chasing bit? Because I haven't listened yet this week. I certainly will.
It started in the ship chasing Discord. I said that Josh Palmer is the Panthers' Adam Thielen of Cortland Sutton's. which made perfect sense to me.
That's good. Because all I know is like I posted what was it? I posted Jalen Naylor's The Jonas Gray of Dontavian Wicks's. And Sam Sherman had like a very angry reaction to that. And I wasn't sure if he was just brain poisoned. Basically, the idea is that he did it entirely in one game, right? He's the Dontavian Wicks, but he did it entirely in the one game against the Green Bay Packers 2 years ago. Naylor goes off the board. So I guess we're going to take a running back here. That was depressing.
Who's your favorite 18th round running back? It is fucking bad now. To me,
Yeah,
once
Shipley is now a 16th round running back. So it's no longer Will Shipley.
Once Estime goes, it is just over for the running back position.
Also, I don't think Josh Palmer can be the Nico Collins of this year because I think Nico Collins was just a lot better going into last year than people appreciated. And I'm one of the very few people that can say that because I would not shut up about Nico fucking Collins all summer.
Jacob was the absolute number one bull. All right.
Oh man, do we dare with Kendra Miller?
I would
Dallas
unironically
Cowboys starting running back Kendra Miller.
I would unironically rather take Carson Steele.
Okay,
this will be the first Carson Steele or Sion Vaki.
Steele between those two. I mean, I'm not saying this to make light of it because it's really quite sad, but the Clyde Edwards-Helaire PTSD stuff is like something that we have to factor in somehow. Like if he's not going to be,
but it's been
healthy and available, then.
So the thing about this PTSD is that this has been a consistent issue. This happened when Clyde was in college.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a new thing. Now it might be an explanatory variable for why Clyde has not been an incredibly good NFL player, like one of them, but it's not new.
Right.
I
would imagine if you're dealing with like PTSD from I shouldn't play psychologist, but if you're dealing with that from like a physical altercation to like running with reckless abandon into 280-pound dudes, it's like probably something that becomes substantially more difficult.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm to the point now that it's just all been so weird this offseason with Clyde. Like none of it has been positive. It's always, Clyde. He's always sick.
The Chiefs have just got to like sign a real RB2, I think, right? Because like they clearly don't trust in Eric Prince. Clyde seems like he might not be reliably available.
Yeah,
Carson Steele is a Canadian Football League tight end.
Carson Steele is the most CFL ass name Jacob, that's so true. That he's a CFL player.
Well, okay, so we have this guy in the CFL. Let me pull him up. I'm gonna pull up this guy who's on the Toronto Argonauts named AJ Ouellette. And
I know running AJ Ouellette.
Oh, you do? Yeah, because he's basically like he is like the original Carson Steele.
I was gonna say he's been there forever.
Yeah, and he's like actually kind of good, but like I think he's good because it's like the CFL and the linebackers are 215 pounds. But like I can't imagine that. Yeah. How do you know AJ Ouellette?
Because I play CFL DFS sometimes.
Oh my god, I thought Denny Carter was the only guy who stooped to that level. But good for you.
He's been in the league since 2019.
Yeah. And he's sick. Right. He has like a big blonde mullet. Awesome.
He's got a big fat beard. This is what he looks like, everyone. This is what AJ Ouellette looks like. Incredible. Yeah, that's Carson Steele at age 29. He's definitely a CFL guy in the future. All right. We cooked pretty strong with this team.
This is a
Breece Hall, Devin A-Chain start. Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins, Christian Kirk, Jaden Reed, Brian Thomas. Luxury pick here with Brock Bowers. Stack Jordan Love with Jaden Reed. Rico Dowdle is your running back 3. Honestly, pretty strong. Like I'm extremely in on these Dowdle prices. Lawrence double stack, Ty Chandler bring back, Leggett, Tolbert uncorrelated, Sinnott uncorrelated, Yoshi Voss with T is fine. Maybe it wasn't that good. Maybe I think Burton and Higgins are almost negatively correlated.
We're playing the Jamar Chase holdout correlation.
Yeah. Juwan Johnson, Carson Steele. There you go.
Look at that.
Carson Steele's upside is Kyle Juszczyk. That's not true. There's actually it's a real lack of imagination.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I know that Carson Steele is white, so it's a little bit harder to envision it. But there's no fundamental difference between him and Darrell Williams.
None. This right here, this is your comp. You guys know this guy? Familiar with
look.
Mike
Is that
Allstott's game?
Allstott? Yeah.
Rookie year, 96 rushes for 3 touchdowns, 65 receptions for 3. I mean, I think 65 receptions is probably a little bit much, but he could catch. How about what he did the next season? 23 receptions, but it came with 3 touchdowns.
Have you ever looked up Larry Centers?
Of course.
Yeah, pull up the Larry Centers box score there. That's our upside comp for me.
Larry Centers had 42 touchdowns in his career with over 1,000 targets, only ever got to 615 rushes. So basically doubled up targets, almost doubled up targets versus rushes, while weighing 225 pounds as a fullback. If I honestly, Kyle Juszczyk with Andy Reid would be a draftable 18th round pick. Truly, I really mean that.
Like, literally, whoever they want to use as RB2 is a very viable click, and it doesn't really matter if they're good or not. Like, Darrell Williams fucking blows, like, and he was a vital piece of best ball teams from BBM2.
This right here is the better way to look at it. Jerick McKinnon scored 8 touchdowns in 6 games, and did not do it on big volume. He did have he had these 2 games right here that were nuts. The rest of these games were not big volume. It was basically him running like these fake little outlet routes.
Yeah.
So that is your upside comp. I'm grading this one very high. This was that was a very good team.
Yeah. It was so over on the last stream with the Bryce Young, Jatavian Sanders stack, but with this team, we are so back.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The Carson Steele thing, now that the 18th round is so bad, like the 18th round is just getting murdered. You know, like I think there is real room for that. Oh, someone created a fake Davis Mattek account and is telling people they won his giveaway. Well, please report that account for spam or for phishing or whatever. Is this on Twitter or is this on YouTube?
No clue. Is Dwain coming on at 10 or at 11? Are we drafting 2 teams or 1?
Yeah, we are going to draft another team if you have the time in your mother's sauna. Yeah. Okay. All right. I labeled that team. I need to present my screen again. I really hope that we get a good pick. We did get a good. Well, fine. We got the 108. At least it's not the yeah.
I mean, look, the running back revolution is happening right before our eyes here, and we're participating.
It's true. Well, guys, I promise you the drawing is not happening until December 11th or whatever. Right before when we get advance rate and when we know how many teams I will have in the I guess it's the quarterfinals, that's when we'll be doing the giveaway. All right, the 108. Let's see how many badges we have in here. We've got 1 no badge, 2 no badge, 3 no badge, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful. I mean, can you imagine? I did get Jamar Chase at the 109 in one on Monday, which is pretty nice.
That would be special. I think that we are going to be ending up selecting Bijan Robinson.
Hit the like or Worthy tweaks a hammy.
Please, God, no. Don't let Worthy tweak a hammy.
Why not wait till the finals so more people will root for your teams? Neil, I considered that, I think you need to think a step further, which is that there might not be a finals team. Would be the issue with waiting until
You
then.
could wait until the semis, right? Like I would say you're pretty. It would be a major upset if you didn't at least get one team through to the semis. Finals, even if you max out BBM,
I believe
I don't think people
mathematically.
appreciate.
I believe mathematically that is not true. I think even if you consider me an average player, I mean obviously I think I'm better than that, but whatever. You are a dog to get with 150 teams. You are a dog to get a semifinals team.
I don't think that is true. I know that the odds of getting a finals team if you max enter and you're an average drafter is roughly 1 in 10. But I believe that you're about 60 to 70% chance to get one into the semis.
Man, it would be fucking hilarious if I did do Neil's idea and did a drawing for nothing. Did a drawing for $0.00. We are absolutely sweating Ty Suggs 24 wanting to take Bijan Robinson. Yeah. Please, he's
come on, buddy.
I knew it. He was
Justin Jefferson. All right. Bijan Wall into the team. We are going to be rooting against the Atlanta Falcons beat reporters here.
That's so. It's just like it's fine to take Bijan there, but it's just annoying that he auto drafted it. Yeah, because I honestly, my opinion would be a guy who named his team after Ty Suggs probably would have wanted to take Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, I really love when you get like very on brand teams that are named a particular way and they just follow through on exactly what your expectations are. Yeah, this is for a no badge draft here. It's going exactly as you would expect a draft with 12 badges to go so far. So
Neil, yes, the draft does, and the giveaway ends up being $0 a vast majority of the time, but to literally announce it as a drawing for nothing is not ideal. Like the stream where I do the giveaway, like whatever it is, that'll be huge. That'll probably be the most concurrent viewers that I get for the whole year, I would imagine. I don't
think you would get a lot of views if you were drawing explicitly.
Congratulations, you win a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, no one wants that. Okay. Yeah, this is going stone. Well, Jonathan Taylor at 12 to a no badger. Debo to a no badger at 14. Even the no badgers are woke now. Oh, Bowers also missed practice yesterday for the foot, so nothing.
We discussed this earlier today, and we decided that it was nothing.
Yeah. Me personally, I'm gonna still pretend like it's nothing because the alternative is really bad. The alternative is unfortunate.
What's the Tom Moore quote, right? Like if it's not nothing, we're fucked, then we don't practice fucked.
Yeah.
Bijan London feels like kind of interesting, even though my personal pick would be Waddle, but like I don't need to force Waddle onto literally every team.
No, I need to get more Waddle. I'm falling behind on Jalen Waddle, so I like that. And you know what? I bet the Bijan drafter does not like taking. That's one of those know your opponent combos where like, oh, the Bijan drafter doesn't want to take Waddle. The Bijan drafter wants to take Jonathan Taylor and then is mad that he's not there.
Right. 24% Jalen Waddle, you'd think would be hard to do for a player who goes consistently in the mid-second.
No, it's very easy.
Yet I've maintained it.
Oh, yeah. What is the backup? It was about Craig.
It was a question of why Jim Sorgi wasn't getting more practice.
Jim Sorgi, yeah.
And Tom Moore said, if Peyton goes down, we're fucked, then we don't practice fucked.
There you go. All right, I have to. If you were gonna fast draft 91 puppies to build your exposure.
Are you saying how many tables at once?
Just theoretically, if I was gonna auto draft 91 puppies at once, how would you set up what is the optimal way to do that to get the exposures that you want?
I've never done this where I know some people
Herzig does this
for all his teams. Herzig does this for some teams. I think it's Justin McMahon does this for all his teams. I've never auto drafted a team on purpose before. I have forgotten that I've entered a best ball draft before, but I've not intentionally auto drafted before, so I have no idea. I guess like you have to set position. The problem is you can't set position minimums, right? You can only do position maximums, which makes it like I think quite difficult.
Well, the move if you're actually going to do 91 is to set it exactly so that you do 3 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 8 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. So you do it exactly. I'm not doing it for rake back. My guess would be that my auto drafted ranked teams are still going to be better than very many of my opponent's teams, particularly like people are just doing dumb shit in the puppy. Yeah.
I actually don't know that that's true. I think, well, sorry, I don't. I think it's true that your rankings can probably beat the aggregate of the market, but structurally,
I will have like no correlation. There'll be no week 17. It'll just be totally random.
I mean, I even think your auto drafted teams could probably still be plus EV. Just the last part you said about people doing dumb shit in the puppy. Like, I think anyone who's drafting in the puppy 3 right now, who's drafting right now instead of playing in BBM, like to me, to me, it's actually harder to get plus EV in the puppy than it is in Best Ball Mania drafts. Like, I think it's a higher caliber of drafter in the puppy 3. Like I'm entering BBMs right now and crazy shit is happening. I'm getting, Brian Thomas at the late 7th still. Whereas I'm going in the puppy 3 and it's like, I can't get Rashee Rice in the early 4th if I wanted to. Like people are just taking all the players I want, which maybe all the slappies are wrong. And then the actual answer is to take the boomer players, but I don't want to live in that reality.
I agree. So the pushback I would have to that is that my real life friends are now playing best ball. Like it's close enough to the season. And they posted some teams in our group chat last night. Who do you want to take here?
I'd be either of the Texans or I'd pull up Higgins, but I know that you don't like Higgins, so probably Diggs or Dell for you, right?
Yeah. I think we might be able to get T coming back. So I'm seeing
the thing is that the reason I pull up Higgins is because I pull up Higgins in the 3rd and then I draft Rice in the 4th.
Well, we probably should have just taken Rashee Rice there. Is he already gone? No, he's not. So my like real life friends are drafting teams now, and they posted some teams last night in our group chat, and I was like, "Fuck, these are bad." So if that's the case, sure, maybe in the aggregate, like your drafts are maybe getting a little bit harder because they're so wide receiver hungry, and they are. I mean, the puppy is full of slappies. The puppy is like it's just slappy central, right? So, and we draft a lot of slappy favorite players, obviously. Yeah. And that
goes Rice, the 312 with Mahomes. The evolution of the Mahomes stack, it went from a long time ago, we were doing the Mahomes leap of faith, right? So actually a long time ago is you take Kelsey in the 4th, you get Mahomes back in the 5th. Then it became, you have to take Mahomes in the 4th, and then you hope for Worthy in the 5th and Rice in the 6th. Then it became Mahomes in the 4th. You hope for one of Worthy or Rice the 5th. Then it became Mahomes at the end of the 4th with Rice at the beginning of the 5th. Now you have to take Mahomes and Rice. Well, then there was the Kelsey 3-4 turn. Now it's Mahomes and Rice 3-4 turn. I was in a draft yesterday. I saw someone do Mahomes Worthy at the 3-4 turn. Inflation is never.
Where do they get their ideas? Where do they get their ideas?
I think they might get it from davismattek.youtube.com.
This is a tough spot. I think we should take one of the tight ends.
Can't even draft T. Higgins. Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, what about Zay? We got Diggs.
No, because Andrews is still left, and the Andrews drafter is going to have. We will not get Lamar if we do this.
Well, that's fine. I didn't do it for Lamar purposes, but okay. I just meant for correlation purposes.
I'm executive. I'm taking advantage. Right. I'm taking advantage of the new ADP market, where I was totally out on Laporta before, and I am in on Laporta now, roughly at given the Mahomesian inflation of the Kansas City Chiefs offense. I now think it's just like Laporta's. I don't want to have like none of the Lions. The Lions have like this amazing, like they get to play like 11 dome games, Ben Johnson, all this stuff. The TLDR on Vidal versus Dobbins versus Edwards. I basically thought Dobbins was a 0. Turns out he's not a 0. Turns out he's actually just the starting running back for a Justin Herbert-led team. That's a pretty profitable position. Vidal was dead. Now he's back alive again. Edwards had an off-season surgery and is the least interesting talent-wise of those guys. He also catches no passes. He scored 13 touchdowns last year, and no one cared. If 13 touchdowns fall in the woods and no one hears it, do they matter? Like, he was a good advance rate player, but he was so dominated by Mostert and by CMC and by A-Chain that it just didn't really end up mattering. I don't really think it'll matter here. Burton versus Yoshi Boss. I really liked Burton early. I like him less now, as it's pretty clear he's not going to be playing to start the season. Yoshi Boss we took Yoshi Boss on the last one. They're both fine. Yeah. They're both good. They're like handcuff wide receivers, honestly, because Yoshi is not going to smash in the Tyler Boyd role. That will not happen. That's where I'm at. You did used to be able to do this. Mahomes, Kelsey, Rice, and Worthy. It was possible at ADP.
Yeah.
And you could take other good players. Now if you wanted to do that, you'd have to start
in the second.
You'd have to start it in the second. And you still probably wouldn't even get it. Even if you started in the second, you still probably would miss on one of those guys.
Yeah, I learned that the long way, not the long way. I learned it the hard way, which was when I entered these puppy threes, I started being like, all right, I'll just take Mahomes when he's there after Rice is gone in the late 4th, and I'll just reach on Worthy in the early 5th. And the majority of the times that I was doing that, when I was taking Mahomes at like 4.9, 4.10, I'm coming back at 5.3, 5.4. Xavier Worthy is nowhere to be found. So yeah, it's the only realistically, like if you're trying to build the Chiefs mega stack in BBM now, you need to be including Hollywood Brown in your Chiefs mega stacks. And I'm I'm the biggest Hollywood Brown bear there is. Like previous to his injury, I literally drafted him 0.00 times, but the closing line value is so bad on Worthy and Rice that the only way to balance that out is you include Brown in your teams. If you're drafting in the puppy 3, it doesn't matter. Everybody's paying the inflated price. So like just draft the Chiefs whenever you want to draft the Chiefs. But
I agree. And I'm still, this, like the Texans guys, Diggs and Dell are the line for me, where I'm like, okay, I probably won't take Rashi higher than that. But even though there are 8th round Rashi teams or whatever, I'm still taking him because he is still just very likely to be one of the guys you need this season.
Yeah. I tend to agree there. I tend to hate where we are right now.
Yeah,
though. This is the issue. That's why I didn't like the Laporta pick, is that if you don't go Laporta, we would add outs to a correlated Andrews tight end, and we would add a correlated Pitts tight end. But now
we would not have gotten Andrews. Andrews he never gets here.
Oh, I got him in the 6th the other day. Is a Dunze available?
A Dunze is available.
I like him more than these other scrubs.
So we didn't want to set the min pick on a Dunze in the last one. We are setting the min pick on a Dunze now.
Yeah, I like Christian Kirk more than the guys that we were looking at here.
This is interesting. Theoretical, Rice doesn't get suspended, but Mahomes doesn't play week 15, 16, or 17.
Wait, what?
So he's playing with Carson Wentz.
Well, that would be bad.
It'd be not good.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Yeah. This is also the thing. The NFC North. You know the NFC North thing with the Seahawks. They like all play each other in the playoffs.
Oh, okay, that's fun.
It's like there's like a really good correlation with the Bears, Vikings, Packers, and Lions. Yeah, this is where I'm at. Rice is one of my highest exposure players, and I'm not taking him now. Basically,
I was really hoping we would get Ken Walker to come back with the Dunze, but we did not. Let's see here.
We're in a pretty miserable spot right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Well, okay, I think the one. It's a potentially questionable choice, but would you ever go Laporta and Kittle?
Yeah. I like doing stuff like that after cost and when it's a weird thing. I think I've got like 20% of Nico. Nico is my 13th or 14th overall player. I can't remember off the top of my head. He's very high though.
I am 16% Nico, and that's mostly
Shits.
because I'm 24% Waddle. Oh, well, we could do Pitts over Kittle probably because he's also correlated with Bijan, or we could do. I think we're gonna get a receiver we like in the 7th, so I kind of like the tight ends. I don't really care which one; they're both
All right,
correlated.
boom. Let's be done. Huh. Damn. That honestly, really, I was just trying to think like, okay, we have Pitts and Bijan together, but we've got Kittle and Laporta, Iowa tight ends, body blows in week 17. They're just trading touchdowns. They're speeding the game up. Beautiful. Yeah.
Man, that is a nice no badge move right there. We've got a team taking the uncorrelated ahead of ADP CJ Stroud.
That to me is just confirmation that he really did not want to take Justin Jefferson and that he opened the app up and he was like, shit. What do you mean I auto-drafted Justin Jefferson, dude?
Almost certainly, yeah.
Wentz in an Andy Reid offense is a top 5 backup in the league easily. I mean,
probably.
Sure. I mean, that guy almost won a Super Bowl.
Like,
this is a good question.
You could definitely do worse than Carson Wentz as your backup, but like, he's not Patrick Mahomes.
How many? I don't know your answer. How many guys do you have in your portfolio who are over 20%?
20%. So overall, this is not just BBM. This is overall. I have Xavier Legette, Jalen Polk, Jalen Waddle, T. Higgins, Brian Robinson Jr., Demario Douglas, Josh Downs, tough CLV on that one, Tyjae Spears, and Bucky Irving.
That is a crazy list. I mean, not that I dislike it, just we are all my guys are more expensive. All the guys I have it's over 20% is Chase Brown, Wicks, Worthy, Warren, Braylon Allen, Greg Dortch, A-Chain, Burton, Debo, Bowers, Rashee, Jefferson.
I got a lot of the guys you named there are in the high teens for me. Like I have 16% Jalen Warren, I have 16% Chase Brown.
It's a real how many it's basically like how many puppies have you done? Like if you're in, do you know how hard it is to maintain 20% of someone if you're doing 600 drafts? Like it's very hard.
It is difficult. So like if I look just at my BBMs, then it would be Leggett, Polk, B-Rob, Waddle, Spears, Javonte, Demario Douglas, T. Higgins, Audric Estime, Bucky Irving. So almost the same list.
Yeah, it's a good list. We are going to get a wide receiver that we like coming back. Pitts was the double elite tight end. Yeah, I did.
This is fake news. Do not. Okay, I'm hand up biased, but
correct.
Everything that was put in the quote tweet was correct. Like it was said, but Anthony Richardson started 3 of 10. Shane Steichen, who normally is working with the offense at practice every day, decided to go work with the defense. So he had deserted his offense. His offense played poorly for a while. Shane Steichen returns. They immediately do a red zone drill. They score a touchdown. Then they do a 2-minute drill. They score another touchdown. It ended well. The offense did not appreciate the shit talk that was happening, and they came together and they performed under adversity. That's what you want out of an offense. Colts Super Bowl. We're back on.
Is Jacob a reliable Colts narrator?
No. I'm a reliable Colts narrator on one thing, which is anytime someone asks me what Colts tight end to draft, I say no Colts tight end.
Don't
draft. I've never been wrong.
Jelani Woods getting cut.
He's not anymore because he had to undergo surgery, so that prevented him from getting cut.
Couldn't happen for Chase
Claypool. Ow! We did not get a wide receiver we like. Oh, Jesus Christ!
It's terrible, but we have another Lion. We can't take a tight end, so it'd be a running back.
I mean, okay. Yikes. I don't like it, but I don't really have that compelling of an argument.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't really like it either. I've got like whatever, like 1% of him or whatever.
That's more than
but
I
don't.
got.
I don't have a compelling reason. I've got 4.7% of Jameson Williams. I just didn't really have a compelling reason not to take him there. Because my instinct would have been to have taken Jalen Warren there, but it's not really a good idea at this point to be taking him ahead of cost.
It's not. I mean, maybe the pick was just Hopkins. I didn't even know Addison, because you have your rankings preloaded. So Addison was available, and I absolutely would have drafted Jordan Addison ahead of Jameson Williams.
Should I move Jordan Addison back up? I'm worried. I gotta, as a vibes-based drafter, Jacob, I gotta be honest. The parlay of drunk driving, ankle injury, quarterback being out for the year, the vibes don't portend well. That's all.
It's true.
Here's the deal, sir. Fake giveaway. Watch the video. Watch the real video. I say exactly when the giveaway will be happening. Fake giveaway. And
right,
look,
so
I have it sorted by ADP now.
Okay.
Wide receiver is Hopkins, Samuel, Dobbs. Tight end we don't need. None of our quarterback targets are here. Running back,
I
Swift,
think I
White,
would
Warren.
be I think I would be Swift or Hopkins. Is there anyone else that makes sense?
Swift gives us another bear and another in that NFC North Bears vortex. Yeah. All right, Swift.
Okay, and then ideally our next pick is Mr. Williams.
Hit him with the gritty, drafted Claypool in the redraft league. I'm in with him. Sick. I think I literally have DeAndre Hopkins ranked at his exact ADP. I've got him. I've got him 5 spots ahead of ADP, but just the way the board breaks down, that still means I get very little of him.
And the people are asking. I'll answer that.
Yeah.
People are worried about where Hopkins. Worried about Ridley. I'm not worried about Ridley. I was drafting Hopkins straight up ahead of Ridley all offseason. I'm worried about a 32-year-old with a knee injury.
That's it. I was drafting Hopkins way ahead of him, but not ideal. Yeah, talk to me. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is maybe the most fascinating player in the pool this year.
Yeah, so it's specifically this was in. I think this is probably in relation to the Monday stream that I did with Ron and Liam, because Marvin ended up going 1 pick before us, and we would have had an argument. I was adamantly against taking Marvin in the second round there ahead of other wide receivers I think are substantially better. I do take him in best ball just because it's a little bit of a different format, and I think it's so flat that like I'm often breaking ties with correlation, and you can often just pair him up with Puka. But yeah, the main thing is like even the best, and this is kind of just like cribbing from Gretsch's point that he's made on Harrison, but if you look at like Jefferson and Chase's rookie seasons, even in their rookie seasons, I believe it was 128 targets, 135 targets. Not these massive target shares we've seen them put up as they elevate. CeeDee Lamb is currently like my 101, one of the best wide receivers in the whole NFL. He would have been like a horrendous pick in the first round in his rookie season. Kyler Murray,
like 900 yards.
Yeah, like Kyler Murray is generally, great fantasy option. I think he's like an above average real life quarterback. I would say he's like squarely average in terms of supplying for fantasy wide receivers. He runs. His passing is like mildly above average. They ran the ball a ton with him last year, and they've had heavy run rates with Petsing in Cleveland before as well. I think that the odds, like even if he becomes the best wide receiver in the NFL eventually, the odds that as a rookie, he's just a better wide receiver than guys like Waddle and Collins and Debo and stuff. Like it strikes me as pretty thin. And it's not like we're getting all this asymmetric upside with him when there's tons of wide receivers that he's going in that are like actual elite talents, right? It's not like when we were drafting Jamar Chase in the 4th and he was going next to guys that were a little bit more established, that had more cap ceilings. I just think that you're getting a much weaker median projection, and I don't really buy that there's all that much untapped ceiling beyond him when we're taking him at the 1-2 turn. I just think I think you're just accepting a lot of risk for kind of nothing with Marvin Harrison, personally.
I think that's exactly right. I think The reason he's being drafted there is all back-weighted production. Damn. What do you want to do?
Caleb for me. I mean, we got Dunze, we got Swift. I love Caleb Williams.
So the thing about Caleb is we have a lot of quarterbacks who are live, and wide receiver is going to die after this pick. So it'd be like Dobbs or Wicks. I don't care though.
I mean, I think we can possibly get Wicks on the way back. I don't think and also Lockett would be correlated.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I will never ever complain about taking Caleb Williams, but also it's an August room and we have 3 no Badgers behind us, so anything really could happen.
And I'm almost certain the team on the turn has Keenan, don't they?
The team on the turn does have Keenan, yes. But they also had Mahomes. Although the Mahomes the Mahomes drafter
no Badger at all from taking.
No, the thing is that the Mahomes drafter is always woke to Caleb. I
really love that you just project your takes onto anyone else who drafts Patrick Mahomes.
Who's similar. Yeah.
You're just like all Patrick Mahomes, all of the other Patrick Mahomes drafters are OU homers and Caleb Williams balls.
The University of Oklahoma, baby. That's the thing. I love Caleb so much. I'm not even mad at him for leaving for the University of Southern California. Like, don't get me wrong. Hate Lincoln Riley. Think Lincoln Riley is a turncoat. Caleb, I don't blame at all. Caleb, I blame in no way. It was not his fault. He got, he made the best of a bad situation. Man, that the throw to Odunze rolling to his left off his back foot. He's going to be so good, man. There's going to be some growing pains because the scrambling stuff is there. There are going to be kind of like Josh Allen when Josh Allen was a rookie, where the scrambling stuff would get him into trouble. But he is, I think Caleb's already a better thrower not a better thrower, a better passer than Allen is.
That brought me back so much joy. Like, I remember when Caleb Williams was first starting to become clear to us that he was a special individual. Wicks goes the pick before us for the second consecutive draft.
Yeah, obvious.
I want Tyler Lockett, but I know you just hate him. But
I've got 11.6% of him. I do not hate him. This would be a good Zach Moss team, though.
Do you even know where Tyler Lockett went to school, Davis Mattek?
Buddy, trust me. We were there at the same time. That's how fucking old he is.
Come on, man. Take the pride of Manhattan, Kansas.
Do you want to know how old Tyler Lockett is? I just celebrated my 32nd birthday, and me and Tyler Lockett were in the same graduating class. That's how old Tyler Lockett is. Tyler Lockett and I used to get lunch in the same part.
Who's taller? You were Tyler Lockett.
We used to see him. We used to see him all the time. We would get lunch at the same time on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Both of our senior years. I would see him all the time. And when I get up in the morning, my joints are feeling stiff, dude.
Have you considered that it's possible that Tyler Lockett might be in slightly better shape than you?
I don't know, man. I don't know. 8.4% Michael Wilson exposure.
I'm gonna guess that I'm similar, but let me pull it up.
And I bet it's all Rams and Cardinals stuff.
So I have 6% Michael Wilson and I have 8% Greg Dortch, and I'm actually above market on Marvin Harrison in best ball. I won't be in high stakes, but I'm trying to reduce that in best ball. It's just like so many times I've had Puka and then Marvin's there, and I'm like, well, I'll break the tie in favor of the stack. To the point where it's probably more than I actually need to be doing.
Sure.
Also, I'm way overweight every player that goes in the 9 to 12 range.
How is that possible?
On both sides of the chart.
Oh yeah.
Because I just have very bad draft.
Because you just get all the horrible draft slots. I thought 9th to 12th round range.
No. Basically I'm about even with the field on getting picks 1 through 5, and then I'm very, very underweight picks 6 through 8, and I'm very overweight 9 through 12. So I'm underweight all of Amon-Ra, Bijan, and Brees, for instance. but
Man,
I'm
you
like
just
overweight all of Puka, Garrett, and AJ Brown.
you just dropped a boot right there. I don't think I've ever. Is that only when you go back home you start to lapse into the hardcore Canadian accent? I don't think I've ever really noticed that from you before.
I don't know. I feel like I just say it normally. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you did it right there, but you dropped a hard a boot.
I went a
30
boot.
seconds ago. A hard a
Wow.
boot. Okay.
Wow.
I think
Look at that.
I think our next
I don't even know what that means, Dylan, but it did make me chuckle.
Tyler Lockett is the Davis Mattek of Pete Overzetts. No,
I have
I'm not.
no
I'm
idea what
not.
it means.
No, I'm not giving. That's the thing is it's got to be immediately clear when you say it what is intended. Like Xavier Worthy is the Jamar Chase of John Ross's. Everyone knows exactly what that means.
I was literally about to fill in John Ross's as your second there while you were paused. I thought that was where you were going.
Yeah, everyone gets that. Okay, so our double stack gets sniped by the St. Brown drafter. What you can't be mad about that.
I'm quite okay with that. Like if someone wants to snipe my Jared Goff, I rarely have an objection to it.
What was the Caleb one, Clay? Type it again. What was the Caleb one? Do you want to do Tua, or do you want to take a running back?
What are the running backs? Dowdle's not available.
Bad.
They all suck.
Yeah.
Is there a wide receiver that makes any sense?
Gabe Davis, Mooney, Downs, Wilson.
I don't hate Davis, but it's not correlated to anything. I guess we just take Tua. I don't
know. Let's take Tua because you never know when you're gonna die in a badgeless room like this. And if we're not getting Dowdle, then we're not getting Dowdle.
All right, so we're done at quarterback, we're done at tight end, and now it's just running back and receiver the rest of the way here.
No, Caleb, this is not Caleb Williams is the Patrick Mahomes. I would say Caleb Williams is the Tom Brady's of Spencer Rattlers. That's better. That's way better.
Wow, you're quite good at this.
Yeah. Kevin Tompkins just checked the tape. A boot.
Listoic, I feel like that's incorrect because that's just the same guy.
This is also you're not getting some people don't get the essence of the exercise. It's meant to be a juxtaposition.
One is stylistic and one is qualitative. Like one is about how good they are or how bad they are, and the other is the stylistic definition.
This also doesn't work because that's two players that are very good. It's you guys circle around it, but there's a reason why I'm a professional.
And that's Tank Dell would be like the Antonio Brown of I forgot his fucking name. What's the West Virginia wide receiver? Stedman Bailey's.
Stedman, there you go. There you go. Yes, nailed it. The Stephon Diggs of Stedman Bailey's is very good. In an argument with a friend right now, assuming Brissett wins the starting job, what do you think his dynasty price tag is? Yeah, it's any quarterback that's starting third round.
I mean, I don't know. The price is what someone will pay.
Yeah, the price. Yeah, no one has bit on selling Sam Darnold for a second in the league where I desperately need to get rid of points. No one wants to bite.
I bet once, but it was a 14-team league, and the quarterback scoring is juiced beyond all comprehension. It's like there's points for passing first downs, there's points for completions, it's 6-point passing touchdowns. It's like it's not real life.
You good with Sharps here?
Totally.
Yeah. Sharps is like in my redraft tiers, he was the last of that tier. Yeah, this is also where I'm at. I think the flag done flown on the Drake May thing.
If May starts week 1, I'm not gonna be my best self on Twitter for 4 to 6 hours. Like I'm gonna be searching the comment section for every tweet I've made about Drake May and just doing the passive aggressive move where you just like people's tweets that turned out to be wrong, just to let them know that that they were incorrect about a guess in fantasy football.
I love it. Albert, it is true. Lockett is in better shape than me. I will admit on this stream, Tyler Lockett is in better shape than me. Yeah. What do you win when you win starting Brissett? Here's the thing about this is that Jacob and I are in these leagues where like literally every player matters. Like 30-man best ball dynasty rosters with 11 or 12 starting slots that are super flex. Like Jacoby Brissett starting 8 games is worth a minimum of like the 302.
Yeah, I mean, you win a starting quarterback, right? Like if you're playing a deep super flex dynasty league with 11 plus starting slots, any quarterback is projecting meaningfully better than any non-quarterback in your super flex slot. So if you don't have a second quarterback, like that team that I mentioned where I paid the 2 for Darnold, like
here's a good one. Here's a good one. This guy got it right. Jalen Naylor is the Andre Yoshibasa of Olabisi Johnson's. Vols in draft gets the exercise. He got at the core of what we're doing here. That was a good one.
That is good.
I did not mean to cut you off. Jahan Dotson traded to the Eagles. Is this true?
Is that real?
Wow. Okay.
Oh yeah, it is. Dotson and a 5th for a 3rd and 2 7ths.
It's legit.
That's interesting. So kind of makes sense, right? Like they hated Dotson for whatever reason. The Eagles are like always a team that loves to make these kind of reclamation project bets. Not a good landing spot for him though. He's like dead on arrival on the Eagles, I think.
No, I don't think he is. I think
Rip my Johnny Wilson bags.
Yeah, Johnny Wilson. Johnny Wilson is deader than dead. I think the number one, someone just said it. Here we go. This is the correct answer. Luke McCaffrey is like a 15th round pick now again, I think.
Yeah, I guess, right? Like, and De'Ami Brown is like clearly draftable now, right?
Yeah, De'Ami Brown sucks. Is right, sort of the,
so does everybody on that offense except for
yeah, immediate reaction.
Ben Sinnott, baby. Ben Sinnott hive is
immediate reaction is that if you had Dotson bags, have fun staying poor.
He's not a draftable player on underdog.
Yeah, I think here's my Galaxy brain take. I think on any Bijan team, you should be taking Braylon Allen, and any Brees team, you should be taking Algier.
Works for me. Can you pen a wide receiver just to see what's up? But I'm probably fine with it. Yeah, I'm fine with it. Those guys all suck.
Yeah, they do. I'll get Kirk Cousins out of the queue. All right. Interesting. Very rarely do we get a trade this close to the season that matters for fantasy football at all. Windhorst?
Yeah, that's fun.
Windhorst? Ayuk to Washington? Yeah, I didn't really like De'Ami Brown as a prospect.
I think that it's like the opposite of a Windhorst meme for Ayuk to Washington, because if Ayuk was going to Washington, then Jahan Dotson would be going to the San Francisco 49ers.
These are dynamic Brown stats through 3 years in the NFL. 29 receptions, 476 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I'm going to guess he's got... he does have... How about this? He's got a 2 for 105 in 2 games. De'Ami Brown back on the menu, boys.
I mean, he's the archetype of guy who could suck and be a reasonable best ball pick. Like, I don't know. Like, is it that impossible for De'Ami Brown to Darius Slayton it up this season?
I'm not. I won't take him at all. I will take Ben Sinnott and Zach Ertz.
I'm not drafting Zach Ertz over Dynamic Brown.
Have fun staying poor, boys. Yeah, the biggest takeaway for me is if you had any reasonable sized bag of Johnny Wilson, it's Jover.
Yeah, I mean, I have a very minimal bag in best ball. I have a big bag in Dynasty.
What wide receiver do you want to take?
Rashad Bateman.
Golly. I shouldn't have even asked you. I should have just taken Tolbert and not said anything.
That's correct, but unfortunately, you did.
Fuck. God, how much?
Bring back with Diggs, baby.
I gotta have like no Dotson. Wow, I do 5%.
I have no Dotson that's not stacked with Daniels, which is the funniest part. Is that like I have been fading Dotson the whole time. but I don't also really take that much McLaurin. So I'll consistently take Daniels naked in the 8th or 9th if I have like no other quarterback set up. And then I'll just attach Dotson because it's like, whatever, I guess I should do this. And now those aren't even correlated. So I just have like a bunch of dead Dotson teams with naked Daniels.
I think this is right. Jahan Dotson is the Josh Doxson of Brandon Ayuk's.
That's like a pretty good take. I can see that one.
I can squint and see it. The thing that I would associate with Ayuk though would be a guy who transferred colleges, though, in terms of that's kind of where I would go. And Dotson was Penn State and Doxson was TCU. They were all at one school. Dotson is still a Week 16 bringback against Washington. Revenge. Sure, whatever.
That's true.
I'm not sure how the takeaway is that Dotson is DOA. Dotson is DOA because he was DOA before, and now he's going to a new team, a new offense, where I kind of liked their third wide receiving options anyway. Like, I kind of liked Johnny Wilson, and my most shameful take is that Aeneas Smith is the Philly beat writer said that he's the worst wide receiver any of them have ever seen. Seems bad.
Yeah.
It also seems bad that we just took Rashad Bateman. But this team is not cooking as hot as the other team is cooking, Jacob.
No.
Paris Campbell. Right. I forgot Paris. I guess this means Paris Campbell probably doesn't make the roster. Oh, yeah, this is a good one.
To be honest, that is a great. Pickens is probably one of the easiest possible players to do this for.
Yeah,
because like he is so good at a thing, and that thing is an archetype, so it just perfectly fits. But yeah, I think that the starting 3 receivers for Washington is probably, I'm going to say in week 1 that Olamide Zaccheaus is going to run more routes than Luke McCaffrey, but for the purpose of what you care about in best ball, it's probably that. It's McLaurin and Brown with Luke McCaffrey.
Not even Alec Pierce's family thinks it's Alec Pierce time.
What? It's never been Alec Pierce time.
It's never been Alex Pierce time. Yeah.
I actually, I'm going to say that I think this is low key good for. Okay. What's our structure? What do we have right now? Oh, 2-4-6-2. We probably want to make this what 2-6-8-2.
Probably 5 could be fine.
Okay. So it's 6-8 or 5-9. I'd be. Yeah, that's fine. Dortch would be fine, more than fine.
All right. Well, that's all I needed to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I love Dortch.
The Dortch is now. It's not even. It's like it's completely unironic. It's just like everyone's like, yeah, Dortch is gonna get 80 targets this year. It just is what it is.
I mean, I think that like it's okay. So it's bad for Dotson in the sense that like a month ago we didn't know the Commanders hated his guts, but now that we know the Commanders hated his guts, you'd probably rather him be on a team that might not hate him. So like at least now, if Smith or Brown were to get hurt, then he's probably walking into 80 to 90% of routes on a good offense and on a team that might not despise him.
So there is a guy in my Discord, and he hangs out here too, Chad Candles. He's like the world's foremost Aeneas Smith drafter. And it's just like every day, God continues to give him the toughest challenges imaginable. He has like a 40% Aeneas Smith bag in the big board. And I feel I'm really praying for him. All right. We are up in 2 picks. We've got Caleb Williams stacked. We've got Tua stacked. We have Bijan Robinson, DeAndre Swift, Zach Charbonnet, Braylon Allen. We are up. Can I interest you in Kamani Vidal in round 16?
Easily. Yeah.
It is.
Wait. Is Alec Pierce on? Why are people talking about Alec Pierce? Did he get traded to the 49ers?
Did Alec Pierce get traded to the 49ers? I don't know. Can I research
I don't think so. I'm someone saying he's behind Jawan Jennings on San Francisco. Is that just is this just fake news or is this a real thing?
Alec,
is this
I'm
hypothetical?
gonna Twitter search Alec Pierce. Oh, there's a 32 beat writers tweet. That's all it is. There's one 32 beat writers tweet about Alec Pierce playing plenty.
Okay.
Pierce remains the best Colts receiver at getting open down the field. I
want to have a word with that beat reporter.
This is why. Here's the thing with beat writers that you've got to be locked in on. Beat writers are very good at explaining who is playing with who, kind of interpreting what coaches do with playing time. But asking Daniel Proper to evaluate which Chargers running back is playing best, it's not that they're even bad at it. It would just be the same as you guys trusting me to say it's like, I don't know ball. That guy doesn't know ball. There's no ball knowing available. The ball knowing is at 0.
Apparently, there's an article about Pierce being a potential trade target if the Colts try and trade for the Indianapolis Colts will not be trading for Brandon Ayuk. That's just something that I can tell you that.
No, except here's the thing: you can't fade all wide receivers because Luke McCaffrey is streaming up boards right now. Luke McCaffrey is a great pick right now.
That's our next pick, right? It's actually correlated.
He's actually locked in. I mean, I already have a big fat bag of Luke McCaffrey, but NFL might as well stand for nepotism football league.
I feared that I had more Dotson because it feels like I click him a lot with Daniels, but I only have 4%. So I feel I have my blanket is now in tatters, but at least it was only a blanket.
And you're in the middle of 100 slow puppies. So think about how low that number is going to be when you're done.
Well, it's going to get ready to learn 18th round pick on my Jalen Hurts teams, buddy.
No, I'm going to just remove him from my rankings. I think
that's okay. So, I mean, I was willing to draft Johnny Wilson on Jalen Hurts teams. So, like, I have to be willing to draft
the upside case for Johnny Wilson is legitimately more intriguing to me than the upside case for Jahan Dotson. I'm not being facetious. I'm really not.
Hoosier, you absolutely bet the Colts have cap room for Brandon Ayuk, but Jim Irsay, like the Colts aren't trading for Ayuk because Jim Irsay is like cash poor. So he won't pay guaranteed money past 2 years in escrow. And so Brandon Ayuk would have no interest in signing with us.
The entirety of my Johnny Wilson thesis is that he's 6'7" and that he's potentially a better red zone weapon than Goddard. That's really it.
Yeah, that could be. I'm so excited for LMC here. And then I might just
spend the rest of I was gonna say I might just spend the rest of the day clicking Luke McCaffrey.
Well, I would take Diami with my last pick.
No, dude, don't make me do this,
dude. Like, don't you remember how much you like this guy coming out of the University of North Carolina?
I know I did not
because you're a dynasty, bro. Don't retrofit. Everybody likes him.
We're pulling up the Sims. You're making this happen. Everyone,
all right.
The chat actually hates when I do this, that I just am like always pulling up these sim scores, but I don't care. It's one of my favorite exercises. The sim scores are actually bad. They're actually terrible. Like, you think they are going to be good and they're not. They're really bad. Like, best case is a player who's already smoked him in Randall Cobb. And they're very different. They're very different styles of players. Like Carlos Henderson, Troy Franklin, Brandon Tate, Ardarius Stewart, Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, Johnny Wilson now is sadly the Calvin Benjamin of Jacob Cowings.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. 2582. What do you want to do? You want to take Jalen Naylor?
De'Ami Brown. But you're not going to allow me to do that?
He's gone.
Okay. Is De'Ami Brown available?
De'Ami Brown.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. What a beautiful pick. Correlated. We're going to get closing line value.
No, we're not. I took Brennan Rice.
Oh my God. All right.
There's a player, Jacob, there's currently a player in the NFL who is 50% of Jerry Rice's DNA, and he's playing with Justin Herbert, and it's like no one even cares.
I care. I draft them on Justin Herbert teams.
It was a man's gotta stand for something. Guys, I disagree with this. I'm not
Brown is gonna run like 85% of routes with an 8 out of 16.
You think that Olamide Zaccheaus can't send De'Ami Brown to the woodshed, brother?
That's correct. I think that they need one. So Luke McCaffrey is not a field stretcher. He's like he could potentially play slot or flanker, but he's like either way, he's like an intermediate receiver and a gadget, like manufactured touch. Like those are kind of his elements. And then Zaccheaus is purely a slot receiver. So they need one guy to be like an outside receiver running 9 routes and earning 0.12 targets per route run. And that's what De'Ami Brown does best.
De'Ami Brown is the new sacrificial X wide receiver who never gets a target. I mean, he's MVS, he's whatever, you know.
Right, but he's gonna run 513 routes, and he's gonna have 62 targets, and he's gonna have 35 catches, but they're gonna go for 631 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Brendan Rice is the Jerry Rice. Zach, you get it. Beginner question: what's the reason for matching players on the same team as the quarterback? So when they score a lot of points together the same week, then you get a lot of points in your lineup. It's perfect. It's beautiful. LMC is just fancy Arcega-Whiteside. Well, what I'm hoping is that Johnny Wilson is fancy Arcega-Whiteside. I guess that's what I was hoping before. I'm not hoping it anymore. We'll call this the non-dynamic Brown team. All right. In the end,
rue the day you passed on dynamic Brown.
Imagine if that's what costs us. Imagine we're sweating this team out 18 weeks from now. We're sitting there in week 17, and dynamic Brown is the guy who costs us because we took Luke McCaffrey. All right.
I will never let you live that down.
You shouldn't. Bijan at 8, Jalen Waddle at 2.5, Diggs at 32. I'd like this team better if Diggs' name just said Rashee Rice, but it's fine. After going through this whole exercise, how do you feel about this Laporta pick? Bad, good? You were right at the time not to take him. What do you think?
I didn't like it, and I still don't like it, but okay. I don't hate it. It's definitely a viable team for sure. But the thing that I don't like about it is that we ended up taking Jameson Williams as our 4th wide receiver.
We ended up taking Jameson Williams without a 49er and without Jared Goff. So, yeah, that was probably bad.
But overall, I still think it's a good team. Like we have I kind of like the 2 tight end. It's fine, I think, to have a weaker 4th wide receiver, of course, if you have 2 stud tight ends, because we're probably playing Pitts or Laporta in the flex pretty frequently. We do have Caleb double stacked up. We have Tua stacked up. We have Luke McCaffrey on this team who's about to get about 20 picks of closing line value. So I don't know how you can be more excited about anything than that.
I am not worried about this, Chris.
That I'm really not worried about.
This
he's on the roster? Is he still he's in the league?
I believe technically he is a Washington Commander. Yeah. Wow. Also I just need this to be on the record. I'm totally back in on Kamani Vidal. I was so out. I moved him out of my rankings, and now I'm so back in. Why won't the Commander sign Renfro? There's got to be something non-football related going on with Renfro. There's got to be like personal. I don't know what it is. Don't ask me what it is, but there's got to be something going on with him. The Eagles have the best wide receiver trio in the NFL. Not even close. I think I'd take every
Absolutely
NFC.
not.
I would think. I was going to say, would I take every NFC North wide receiver room over the Eagles room?
Well, I certainly wouldn't take the Lions unless
I wouldn't
we're
take the
counting
Lions, but
running backs and tight ends.
I would do pack. Yeah, I do all of them.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's an argument for the Eagles being the best wide receiver trio in the NFL, but that argument has nothing to do with Jahan Dotson.
Nothing to do with
that argument is just if you think that Brown and Smith are so much better than the other top twos that it doesn't matter who their third is, right? Like if you don't think wide receiver is a weak link position, then you could argue that the best wide receiver rooms are the Dolphins and the Eagles, despite not really having a third wide receiver.
Packers over the Eagles, buddy. Bo Melton is their wide receiver 5.
Breadth versus depth, right? Like,
yeah,
the Packers obviously have the better 3 and 4, and it's just, I mean, I would probably just take the Eagles room because AJ Brown and Smith are so much better than any Packers receiver. But it has nothing to do with Jahan Dotson, that's for sure.
The hardest thing to get is a true number 1, and the Eagles have a true number 1, and they probably have a true number 1 is their number 2, which is
the best receiving room, I think, is probably the Texans because they're the team that has, and the Bears would be the other argument. Like those are to me the only teams that have like a number 1 quality best receiver and have like a third receiver that's also potentially a star.
Yeah. All right, Jacob, I'm gonna go pee. Tell the people about thinking and what they can expect from you over the next 14 days.
Hell yeah, man. Thinking about thinking, jakobsanderson.substack.com. Just finished up answering a bunch of mailbag questions on the rankings and on whatever other topic. I'm going to have to figure out something to write here this weekend, but I'm planning to do so. If you have ideas, honestly, let me know. But we'll be basically doing high stakes content and best ball content all the way until the football is snapped on the regular season. So super, super excited to do that. I think last year I did like a favorite pick in every round for redraft leagues article, and I enjoyed doing that. So I'm probably going to do something like that again. And yeah, that's going to be everything that's up on Thinking About Thinking. If you want to check out like my streams this week, I was on a gazillion of them. Check out the Monday main event stream with Ron and Liam. Check out, I was on with Gretch yesterday for a couple hours. Did Becoming a Best Ball Bro with JJ. So lots of Jacob content if you enjoy that sort of thing.
Do you want to do an NFFC primetime with me at some point?
Absolutely, I would. Yeah.
Okay. If I email Greg and say that I will say that we will stream it, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that we will be able to do that. Also, this is I know the answer to this question, but it's basically just because they were good when you were a kid, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I like turned on an NFL game for the first time when I was like 6, and it was a Colts Patriots playoff game. Because that was every playoff game when I was 6. And I just like picked the team that I wanted to root for in that moment. I made the wrong decision, of course. I would have led a happier life if I picked the Patriots, but I picked the Colts. We lost that game, of course, but I was loyal. And then, yeah, I just, being a Colts fan in the 2000s was extremely fun. Like rooting for the Peyton Manning offenses was just like a truly joyous experience every Sunday. And then usually a really negative experience in the playoffs. But we'll always have that AFC Championship game over the Patriots that they won. Yeah, I mean, when you're in Winnipeg, like obviously my first love in football was the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. But if you want to pick an NFL team, there's not really going to be a particularly logical choice. You're just going to have to pick one at random.
Are the Winnipeg Blue Bombers any good right now?
Yeah, I mean, well, so they're kind of having a down year so far, but they're rallying. They've been to 4 consecutive Grey Cups. They won the first 2. They've lost the last 2, but they're 4-time defending West champions. They're 4-6 right now, but they started 0-4. So they've won 4 of their last 6. I will be boots on the ground at Investors Group Field for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers taking on the Hamilton Tiger Cats tomorrow night. So excited for that.
Are the vibes good at a CFL game? They gotta be, right?
Oh, dude. You know what? It really depends on the city. So like the CFL is huge in the prairies. So like Bombers, Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Saskatchewan Roughriders, Calgary Stampeders, like those games are absolute vibe fests. You go to the cities that have a little bit more going on. Like now that I live in Vancouver, not a person alive is like talking about the BC Lions. Like it's very much like the Vancouver Canucks, the Vancouver Whitecaps, which is the MLS team, and the Lions are a very distant third.
Oh, I'm extremely woke to the Whitecaps. I'm a big MLS guy.
Okay.
I literally never talk about it, but I do love the MLS.
So yeah, like I've been to Whitecaps games, and those are a massive vibe. Like that's a huge vibe. The Lions, though, so real inside baseball in the CFL. On this past Sunday, the Lions played the Blue Bombers, and for the first time in years, like BC Place is huge. They have a whole upper deck because that's where they hosted a lot of the Olympic stuff when the Olympics were there in 2010, and they almost never opened the upper deck for CFL games. But Nathan Rourke, famously Canadian kid,
preseason goat
from the Atlanta Falcons this year and returns to the BC Lions. So that was his first start back in the CFL on Sunday, and they packed the entirety of BC Place for Nathan Rourke. The Bombers beat the shit out of them. We won 20-11. It was 20-3 before a garbage time touchdown. So shout out to the Blue Bombers. We're getting back into the mix here, hopeful to get to a fifth Grey Cup. Grey Cup is in Vancouver this year, so I will 100% be there. So it'll be boots on the ground from the Grey Cup this year on Thinking About Thinking.
All right, we gave him the most Canadian ending to the stream possible. Everyone, make sure that you check out Thinking About Thinking. Jacob, thank you for joining me, and I will slide in the DMs after I email Greg about setting up a primetime draft slot. All right, I'm going to kick you out. Everyone say goodbye to Jacob. Go check out Thinking About Thinking. And I'm going to add one Mr. Dwain McFarland. Dwain?
What's up?
How's it going, buddy? How are you doing on this beautiful Thursday morning?
Man, I'm good. I just, I just went for a nice little walk, got some sunshine in, did a show this morning with Mr. Ian Hardis. My only complaint here, Davis, is you let Jacob drone on about the Grey Cup. And did we lose all of our viewers at the end of that?
Like, incredibly, only 13 people dropped off. Incredibly, somehow only 13 people dropped off as we thought about thinking about the Grey Cup. All right, real quick before we hop in, give me your immediate reaction to Luke McCaffrey. How high should we be drafting Luke McCaffrey now in Best Ball Mania 5? Now that Jahan Dotson is out of the building.
Yeah, I think McCaffrey is definitely the name, like long term. I know right now, like Olamide Zaccheaus is ahead of him. Diami Brown's probably going to be in the 2 wide receiver sets. They've shown they really like the 3 wide receiver stuff. I do think we get more 2 tight ends now. I think we'll get more of a mix. But I would say like just McCaffrey is the wide receiver that has the most upside, on the team. Might start a little bit slow, but I think that clearly puts him, I had moved him down to the point where it was kind of like in that range.
I'd moved him down too.
I had him with Troy Franklin and basically Quentin Johnston, guys that I'm not taking, honestly. And to be fair, I had taken quite a bit of him early. So I just kind of tried to chill out on him over the last, couple of weeks, just because he wasn't running with the first team really in practice or in the preseason stuff. So now I think, looking at my ranks, I actually just adjusted them over on the Fantasy Life page. But I think now you're looking at him clearly, in my opinion, in that I would take him right around where Parasol's going. Like if we're looking for another rookie.
that was my immediate gut reaction is right where Leggett and Pearsall are going. Yeah. That was my
I would take him right around there. I think Sennett is back in play as well. Because this also could just be foreshadowing that, obviously Washington's not been tipping their hand with a lot of what they're doing. They're not going to come out and run like, 2-second, pass plays. I get it. Like Cliff, that's kind of part of what he does, but like, I don't think they've really shown their hand as to what they're doing. Like Ian Hardis wrote a really good article about how they're not moving anybody around. Terry McLaurin staying, in the one spot like Hopkins used to do.
That's I was going to say that's what that might be what they do anyway.
Well, we'll see. But the beat reports, at least Ian stirred up the beat reports, and like the Hive started like, buzzing around, and they came back, oh no, they're moving him all over in camp. We're like, okay, well, like tell us this stuff. Like we need to know these things. So I don't think the Commanders are really tipping their hand. So like now I'm just looking at pure talent bets on this team. Obviously McLaurin is the number 1 right now, But would it surprise us, Davis, that maybe it's not McCaffrey? What if the name really to have on your team at the end of the year is Sennett? Like Sennett was the player I liked the better of those two. I like them both.
Yeah, Sennett is the favorite of prospects. Sennett got drafted before. I mean Luke McCaffrey, he's got all the things going for him. He's the Nepo baby. He's good at the game. He was a college quarterback. Also, we are up. We are about to be on the clock at the 107, and we get. I actually think it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. Are you good with Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Yeah, man, dude. I never say no to Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, I click Bijan a lot in that range. Are you scared because of the reports yesterday around Tyler Algier?
No, I'm not scared. I'm not scared at all. Because I take Justin Jefferson over St. Brown and over Chase. Anytime that Jefferson is gone and one of those two players are there, I just take.
You have to manage your exposure because the way you've got your
correct
yeah,
exactly.
I got
so I've got 19.3% of Justin Jefferson, and I've got like less than 4% of Chase and St. Brown because of the way it works. So
okay, yeah. Feel you then. I feel you then. Yes, we should click on Amon-Ra.
There we go.
I know you already did. So,
there's a good.
Hey man, Dyami Brown could be a last round pick.
That's what Jacob was just trying to get us to do, and I was like, dude, I cannot. I cannot.
He's definitely flashed. Now, I think we know that his archetype is probably he's the deep threat. He's the guy they want to kind of stretch the vertical boundary, hopefully open things up underneath. But like right now, the only true thing we know we have is Terry McLaurin. Like we're talking about Sennett, we're talking about McCaffrey being bets we like, but if one of those two don't come through, we can have a guy like Dyami Brown, pick up a little bit of value. And he's a guy in best ball like Davis. He's probably starting in 2 wide receiver sets. My guess is he's going to give you 2 spike weeks, which is all you need with your last pick, especially if you're correlated.
He does have a career 2 for 105 and 2 game.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
He's a deep A-dot guy. Like he's going to stretch it out. And Jaden Daniels,
and that's what Jaden Daniels did at college. I will say I'm not going to add Dyami Brown to my top 240. But if you want to take him in the 18th round, go with God.
I think you could make a case for him as high as like basically where Jalen Tolbert's going. Like that's his bull case, in my opinion.
That definitely is. I mean, you want to talk about another guy who's done nothing. All right, we've got Amon-Ra St. Brown. We could take Gibbs. We could take Cup. What do you want to do here?
I like taking Gibbs. I'm just buying this is the one weakness in my opinion of underdog. I think underdog is amazing. It's not underdog. It's just a best ball period, right? We've got so many drafts going on. And so the beauty of it is like, man, it is such a valuable marketplace for us to use to gauge our takes and, really like run our stuff through the grinder because we have so many people reading and taking in so much content and thinking on their own and trying to figure out how to win these contests. And like so many sharp people very vested or are playing, right? And we've got thousands and thousands and thousands of drafts done. So like ADP is great. The one weakness, in my opinion, is because we're so ready for any little morsel or piece of news. Like we get these massive overreactions on injuries. Jahmyr Gibbs is probably playing week 1. We've already heard this. And even if he doesn't play week 1, I would still take him in round 2. So, I mean, I think it's an overreaction.
I did. So I moved him down. I did not move him down.
Tiebreaker stuff. It's fine.
Yeah. So, and someone was just asking me about this, like what team could totally kill me? And it's totally the Detroit Lions. The Lions are like the number 1 team that could kill me in best ball this year because I'm like right with the field on Gibbs, but I've got like no Jameson Williams. I've got Kelsey ranked ahead of Laporta, like just like small marginal stuff like that, which means if the Lions lead the league in points, I'm like drawing dead.
Which they have a chance to do. It's a good offense you want to be investing in. You're making your stand with Jefferson. Like I've mixed those two way more. Jefferson's, I'm below exposure, on Jefferson slightly. I mean, obviously he's still a beast, so I expect him to be, a top 8 wide receiver. I just don't think Justin Jefferson's scoring 22, 23 fantasy points this year. So I don't think he like kills me if I miss him. He could totally kill me in week 17. Like, in 1 week, in a 1 week sample, Justin Jefferson could be like all you need.
Obviously I felt better about it when there were JJ McCarthy outs.
Yeah, 2 outs.
Now that the JJ McCarthy outs are gone, I feel
You're a little boxed
Worse.
in, Davis.
I'm a little boxed in. I'm a little boxed
Hey,
in. All right.
the good news is, as much as Mullins is like a YOLO dude that is going to throw picks and the coaches really don't want him on the field, at least we have seen Mullins now in 3 different seasons be able to put up big passing yards if you give him any sort of weapons. So he did it twice with the 49ers, and now he did it last year with the Vikings. So I feel like at least there's a break glass in case of emergency situation. So you got that.
Diggs or Dell? Or Pacheco.
I'm Team Dell, man. I'm Team Rashee Rice right here.
Oh,
I'll be honest.
Well, say no more.
I just say like I just
say less, Dwain. Say less.
I mean, look, the guy. I don't need to say anything. I mean, what he did as a rookie. Yes, he's going to have more target competition with Xavier Worthy. Eventually, they get Marquise Brown back, probably like week 3, week 4. We've got Travis Kelce, but we could look up by week 3, Davis, and we're like, who gives a shit? Patrick Mahomes is going freaking bonkers. I mean, this team
gives a shit. That is it's so
cares?
obvious. It's so obvious that the Chiefs, to me, are going to be the skeleton key. Not saying
Mahomes to lead the passing yards in the league like 5-1 or something. What I don't know what it is. Lead passing yards, but it's not it's probably an easy bet.
Yeah. Yes. So
to win the Super Bowl, an easy bet. I think it's only 5-1, but I would say
they forecasted exactly what they want to do. They said the short passing, we almost died. Like we literally lost to the Raiders. We couldn't get a first down against the Raiders. We don't want to play that way anymore. Let's draft Xavier Worthy. Let's sign Hollywood Brown, and let's go all in. Let's go all in on throwing the ball. Yeah, Rice in the big board, real nerd shit. He was like the wide receiver 12, wide receiver 13, and now you can just get him. It's beautiful.
Yeah, so I hate the turn now down there is always Kelce Mahomes. It drives me nuts because what you're hoping is someone takes Kelce, you come back and just take Xavier Worthy and dare someone on the other end of the board to take Mahomes. Now they still have an out with Hollywood who goes like pick 72 now, but that's kind of been my strategy. If I take Rashee Rice in the second, I'm actually praying like someone take Kelce.
Yes.
And it gets to me, and there's only the one main chief, Xavier Worthy. I take him, and man, like Mahomes in smart rooms, Mahomes comes back to you. In rooms where they're not maybe paying attention, maybe people were just on their phone jacking around or whatever, you're still going to get sniped on Mahomes because he's going to sit at the top of the queue or somebody times out. But yeah, that's kind of been a strategy I've been trying to run to try to game like the last 4 or 5 days.
That's the key thing. I had it happen to me the other way where I took Mahomes first and tried to push Worthy around, and you can't. You can't do it.
They're going to take it. Yeah.
They're going to take it.
It's like the Mark Andrews thing earlier in the year. Like you get down to pick 10 or 11 and I would see people take Lamar Jackson. I'm like, you don't know. You take Andrews and you force the person at the turn to have to decide, do they want naked Lamar? And most likely you're going to come back and get Lamar. So unless, again, it's kind of like poker. You play at a home game and you kind of basically just revert back to, all I got to do is wait and get a good hand. And I don't even need to bluff. Like I can just beat everybody at the table playing that way. But like as you move up in stakes and you play with sharper and sharper players, you're like, oh God, I don't get enough hands to win. I actually have to bluff, have to have these other strategies. That's like in best ball, there's so many other sharp players. Like you have to be trying to use those little psychological edges. And not even psychological, just strategy edges that other people are leaning into. So it's like, how do you use that to maximize your team?
Like this guy.
I was just sitting there rambling on, and we got T. Higgins, which is good.
I knew you'd be fine there. So this guy, Anor 77, he's doing that same thing. He says, if I take Lamar here, maybe I miss Andrews, but it also incentivizes everyone behind me, if they're paying attention, to not take Andrews, and you might end up with a sick combo of players.
But Andrews is so much tougher just because like he's most likely going to go, right? I mean, because the elite tight end stuff. Like for me, like I always work it where I would take Andrews. Like, so what I would do if I wanted what he just did, like Stephon Diggs and like Zay Flowers are pretty close for me. Zay Flowers was still there. I would have went Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews and then dared everyone like to take Lamar Jackson naked. Like, I think that's like the more that gives you the better chance, in my opinion, of completing
getting them. Yeah, no, I think you're right. Yeah, that's also true. Like naked Andrews, like who cares? Like you
naked
you have Mark Andrews.
Naked Andrews is just like great. We just want it. I'll take naked. And also, I'll take Andrews naked, clothed, doesn't matter. Like I'll take it.
Unstacked Lamar is really not horrible either. Like, it's fine.
No, because a lot of people won't do it. So I mean, you can still come back for Bateman. You could get Aguilar with your last pick. I wish man, Devontae Walker would have done anything in camp. Feels just completely buried.
It was so
but
bad.
You could get Likely. If you get lucky and run hot like on the Likely thing, I mean, I think there's still ways, to your point, like the naked Lamar is not terrible.
And you really can't do. I mean, if you miss out, like if you do take Pat and you hope and then you miss out, you're really screwed. I mean, you are hoping for, like, at best you get like Justin Watson, Carson Steele, Noah Gray. I mean, it's not great.
I did it yesterday where I took Rice, then I came back with Worthy, and I got Pat to fall to me, and I passed Hollywood Brown, in I think it was the 6th round. But I have had others where I get Hollywood as my 2.
Fuck. Andrews went. I thought we could ruin. I thought we could ruin that guy's day. Much. Yeah. What do you want to do here?
You wanted to ruin that guy's day. I love Rome Odunze, but I mean, I don't want to overreach for it. Like if you're
say less. We just did. We literally did. We literally did the same thing in the last one. We took a.
So this is where he's
going now.
Yeah, and the way I look at him is I don't think Keenan's as dusty as other people think. Like, I look at the pictures and I'm like, Keenan Allen doesn't look 230 to me when I watch him catch in practice, and he's going to play the slot. We've seen older wide receivers that are savvy veterans play in the slot a long time. Larry Fitzgerald put up wide receiver 1 seasons way freaking later than this in his career. So I'm not as in on Keenan as complete dust, but the upside of Rome, even if Keenan Allen is on the field in 2 wide receiver sets like we've seen in the preseason, Rome might just be freaking Tank Dell anyway. And it's fine, 70% route participation. I really don't care. He can still come up with, especially in best ball, where I don't have to pick the weeks. He's still going to give you some wide receiver 1 weeks, probably wide receiver 2 weeks. There's going to be some duds along the way, just because the way the game scripts are going to work out and coverage will dictate things. But in best ball, I just don't worry about it. I mean, Harditz and I last night did over at Real Time Sports, we did a $300 draft. One of the ones where it's 1,000 first place in your league, 500 grand. Playoff race similar to FFPC.
I've played in that one. Yeah,
bro. The rooms are so soft. I'm just going to tell you, people.
I've been doing these managed leagues. I've started doing all the high stakes leagues. I mean, you go from underdog to these high stakes leagues, and you're like, do these people even have rankings, or are they just clicking at random?
We took Rome as our 5th wide receiver. We had pick 9. We took Jamar Chase. We come back with Puka Nacua, Devonta Smith, and then in the 4th round, Rashee Rice, and then in round 7 we added on Rome Odunze. I mean, dude, Rashad White went in round 2.
It's unreal. Yeah, ETN in round 2, things like that.
ETN was the turn of 1-2.
Yeah,
he was pick 1 in round 2. So you guys that have learned how to draft and do the zero, you're so comfortable now with drafting 0. Oh man, I shouldn't be telling you this because I just want to go clean up all by myself.
Guys, here's the thing. I'm not out on Keenan. It's not even really a Keenan play. It's a pro Odunze play. For me, it is a pro Odunze play as opposed to an anti Keenan play. All right, we're up. I think Walker or Kittle.
Dude, I love Kenneth Walker. You said say no more earlier. I say no more now.
All right, there we go.
Oh, man, the vibes are so good. I like Walker, period, but the vibes are so good around him.
The vibes are so good.
Yeah,
and the vibes are extremely good.
And the vibes have been good for 3 weeks now. Charbonnet had the tightness. He's missed time. But, man, I just went back and I watched, Kenneth Walker's runs from last year. And I'm just like, man. And now you're hearing him, oh, we should feed him. Maybe we should just feed this guy. Oh, he can work in the passing game. And I think that's the critical thing here, Davis. We talk about Charbonnet having the pass down work, and he was a slightly more viable option in college as a passing down player. Charbonnet was. But when you look at him stylistically, Charbonnet is not one of these backs that unlocks the next layer of the field, like a Kamara, like a CMC, like a Darren Sproles back in the day, where you can put him on a Texas route, an angle route, and you have a high-low read with him and a seam play, to your tight end. He's not that. He's still more of a swing pass behind the line of scrimmage, got a good set of mitts on him. He's fine, but he's not a difference maker in the receiving game. And so when you look at that, Kenneth Walker can be that too. Being a swing pass guy is not that hard. There's only so many backs.
Walker actually is better at it because he's more explosive. Like Charbonnet,
he can make the first guy miss.
Charbonnet is like
kind of a plug. when you really
I'm
want.
kind of having trouble coming up with a good comp, but it's like he can play all 3 downs. You could use him at the goal line. He's a fine pass blocker. You know what he is? He's like younger Zach Moss, kind of, where it's like he's just going to be pretty solid. You wouldn't have to sub him out type thing. Like you could just keep him in for a drive. Like if it's
which makes him a great play later in drafts, because that's really all you're looking for. Somebody that can play all the time. Like if you hit on it, you might get running back 1 production if the offense is good. But I'm with you. I think that Kenneth Walker is clearly the more explosive player, and I think the context people are missing. Oh, well, Charbonnet is just a better pass receiver. Like when you really go watch their games, I don't think they are. I think they're both behind the line of scrimmage guys, and I'm with you. Give me the guy that can make you miss or break the big play when you get him out in the flat.
I think that is literally exactly right. Okay, we are up in 1 pick. I know who I want to take. We will see what. Okay, do you want to take Hollywood Brown here as our 5th wide receiver,
Dude,
or do you want to do something else?
No, I like getting Hollywood here.
It's crazy.
Keep it going with the Chiefs. Yeah, this is too far. I mean, he's going to miss 2 games.
I've got him. I guess my rankings are different than the market, but I've got him 1 spot behind JSN, but I have him ahead of Watson, Deontay Johnson, Keon Coleman, and Palmer, who just went.
Yeah, Josh Palmer. This is too high. Sorry,
it's too high. It is too high.
We've got it's like what was the movie Major League? Too high. What do you mean too high? Who gives a shit? It's gone.
We have 2 no Badgers right after us. They might be a little bit squirrely. All right, we've got quarterback. We've got Goff live. We've got Caleb live. Burrow's gone.
Live.
No, Burrow just went.
Oh, did he? Oh, my bad. I missed him.
He just went right before us. So that is something you have to remember when you take 2 Chiefs. I mean, even when you take 1 Chiefs receiver, but especially when you take 2, is that it's a good idea. You could be
forced into back doors.
It's a good idea to maybe reach 1 pick before you'd like to on your quarterback, because you're running out of roster spots to.
Dude, and I'll be honest, like I'm in love with Caleb Williams. Man, just obviously watch the film from college and you see this, but then to see it in the preseason, I get it. It's against vanilla defenses, but my thing for people is when I hear that, they're like, it's preseason defenses. I'm like, God, you clearly didn't watch.
Make the throw.
Yeah, you clearly didn't watch. The point being is what you just said. He is doing things that like basically only Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are doing.
Josh Allen, yeah. Even Hurts, the rolling.
No, Caleb Williams is better than Hurts as a passer. No question.
Yeah.
His ceiling anyway. I don't know that he will be year 1, but his ceiling is going to be so much higher than Hurts.
Yeah.
I did what he did in college. He's down there inside the 10-yard line. He's just like scrambles around. He's like, I just run it in. He did. I mean, the dude's probably scoring 5 or 6 rushing touchdowns. He's not going to rush for 600 yards, but he might rush for 350 and then give you 5.
It all depends on the coaching staff, because they let him if they let him run in the preseason. TJ Hawkinson at 89.
Oh, is this going to get kicked out, man?
No, that not yet. What do you want to do? What do you want to do here?
Do you feel taking one of the tight ends here? I'm good with either one, like because we're about to have to take a quarterback.
This will add
next 2 picks after this.
I was going to say, if we take Ferguson, it'll add in another quarterback.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like that.
Okay.
I mean, Ingram does too, but I'm good.
Ingram does too. Yeah, I
don't have enough Ferguson, to be honest. Ingram was the guy that was past ADP there, but
that's true. I just don't really. I guess I should have taken Ingram. He's so rarely a click for me, honestly.
Because he goes too soon. When he falls like this, it's like, okay, like I get my little Ingram blanket.
That is, we were talking about earlier, doing so many drafts. That's an issue with the way that I draft, because I've just done so many. I'm locked into what I do. So I'm like, I never take Ingram here. What would I even take?
I do the same thing, man. I force myself to zoom out like every week, and just like make sure I think through those things, and then I don't get so, cause I'm, I like to make my stands on players. I definitely like a portfolio. I like a mix, but I do reach a point in the season or in drafting season where I'm just like, look, my biggest seasons ever in fantasy, when I've done really good and placed highly in like national contests and stuff, like I'll be honest, I've just been right on 3 or 4 guys.
Yeah.
And like I had heavy exposure to them, and then I had all these other builds around them. And suddenly I'm in a contest where I've got, 3 teams in the top 20 trying to race it out to win first place,
It's so true that the value of just like a super smash hit, like the value of like 3 guys who are super, it just like doesn't really matter who's around them, as long as you have
Yep.
like non-zeros.
Yeah, like if you had somehow last year hit on Kyron and Puka and just had them mixed with a bunch of other people.
With a bunch of guys, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. So, all right, about to be back to us. Caleb Williams, if he's here.
Caleb, if he's here. If not, there's going to be a running back we like.
Yep.
There'll still probably be a running back that comes around. We still have Goff live. Dak did go. We just need T-Bone.
Man, Zamir is falling like a rock. It's cracking me up.
He is falling. I mean, okay, there we go.
There he goes. We don't have to be tempted because that was just the ADP thing. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I put the tweet out about him and Madison. Like, basically, they're splitting carries and all the same drives. It's not ideal. Like, it's not good.
Ideal.
Doesn't preseason. I always talk about it in my articles, like around, and I'm doing these recaps and everything of all the preseason, all the utilization stuff. Like, we don't always know for sure what the coaches are trying to achieve. Some are actually tipping their hand as to what things are going to look like early in the year. Others are, no, they're checking off things on their list that they want to do, or they just they may be trying to light a fire under Zamir White, even though really they think he's the one. But man, anytime you have a profile like him and you give me any reason to doubt it, it's like,
it's a bad profile. They have, like, I know the Laube stuff seems like a meme, but like if Laube makes the roster, I was going to say targets between
with the kick return stuff, Madison. Man, these teams are going to be more willing to keep an extra back.
Yeah.
They should just cut Amir Abdullah. I don't know what the point is anymore. Just let Laube do the thing. Obviously, they're looking at pass blocking and like, can you keep our quarterback from getting killed? Things that I'm just like, hey, I'm just playing fantasy football. So
here's the thing. Here's the thing with that specifically is like, I would like to think the Raiders coaching staff is taking a larger sample than just like 6 preseasons, because he's looked pretty lost.
Absolutely.
He's looked pretty lost in pass blocking in the preseason, but I'm not sending him to 0 on that yet.
Yeah, you use him in your 2-minute offense. You don't use him in long down and distance. Long down and distance, the defense knows that you're passing. They're going to go man coverage and they're going to blitz you. Laube can't be out there for that. But if you're going 2-minute offense, which is defense is playing a shell, inviting you to throw short check downs because they're basically trying to get out of the half or out of the game with you having a field goal instead of a touchdown, Laube can do that, and that's fantasy points. Zach Moss?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good with that?
Agree. Yep.
Are you
I love how you have Dowdle. I mean, I was like, I can't stop drafting Dowdle. Man, I could draft with you all day long.
Yeah, we
can do this.
We're simpatico here, man.
Our only argument would be I would try to force you off of Justin Jefferson occasionally, like if we had the top 4 pick.
I'll take it.
That would be that'd probably be a fun segment.
Since I've started doing all of these streams, my exposures have gotten a little bit more diverse, which is fine actually.
Last night we took Chase Brown ahead of Moss, but I'll be honest, like I can't tell you which one is going to be the starter. They're both getting like equal positive things from a coach speak standpoint. They're also both getting rest. Obviously, Zach Moss was like a little sick or had something, the first week where Chase Brown did play with the starters. There was a reason, Zach Moss was supposed to play that game, but last week they both rest. So it's like all the signals we have and all the things they're saying is adding up to like it's a split backfield, but like I can't tell you for sure what the split's going to be. Is it going to be like 60-40 or is it going to be hot hand? Is it going to be, let's see who takes this thing and runs with it? Like, what is your preference of the two? If I had to pick in a vacuum, I'm taking Chase Brown, but I know that it's the explosive playmaking and stuff, but his profile has warts. Like, I worry about his vision. I worry about like the way he sees the line of scrimmage. So it's like, I'm not like so far gone where it's like, oh my God, I have to have Chase. I'm slightly taking him more, but I'm not sure about it.
Chase Brown is the one with the juice. He's the one with the wiggle. The vision stuff is like, I don't know. He got like about 1 billion carries at Illinois and was fine. So I think it's probably okay.
But in college, we know like your athleticism can overcome that, and you can just go outside. Once you're in the NFL, it's like, no, you actually have to take like the gap like that you need to consistently gain yards. It just changes the game.
I think this team needs Goff. We've
What's
got
behind us? Does somebody have JMO or anything like that?
yes, the guy right after us
Okay,
has
then
JMO.
go ahead.
So also Moss has like been benched for guys who are not good. You know, like Moss was so out of favor in Buffalo that they had Devin Singletary play literally 100% of the snaps in a playoff game. So it's like, I don't think Moss is this like unimpeachable. He's so good. I mean, I think he's going to be fine. Like if they ask Zach Moss to carry the
No,
ball
Moss is
14 times, he's going to be fine.
For his career, he is a below replacement level back.
Correct.
Right. Last year, he moved into, okay, maybe he's replacement level. I think Moss is, you gave the comp earlier. Like he's the guy that's just going to go out there and kind of do what he's supposed to.
He's just kind of do what he's supposed to do.
Yeah. This guy behind us is a great example of being confident in your picks and making them so quickly does not mean you're actually good at drafting.
He's just vibing, man. Jacoby Myers ahead of ADP.
He's vibing on the wrong freaking people, man.
Herbert Palmer. Yeah, classic.
Sorry.
All right.
If he's listening, we love you.
Clear answer to this question. Do you think a 4 running back team can take down the size of this contest? Absolutely. If you hit on, I would say it probably includes a first round running back. First
round. Agree.
Yeah, I think it's CMC. Like CMC first, A-Chain at the 2-3 turn, Rico Dowdle, and then this year's answer to Kyron Williams, whoever the best late round running back is, could be Braylon Allen. If Breece gets hurt, whatever, that could totally take it down. In fact, giving yourself a third quarterback or a third tight end or whatever, I think
if I go 4 running backs and I'm trying to win it, though, I'm probably not waiting for like the late round guy. I'm probably doing what you just said.
Yeah.
But I'm coming back and tying in one more shot, honestly, in the sweet spot, which is like rounds 8 to 10. Like there's so many options there where you've got a lot of committee backs where honestly, we know they're a committee now, but they could break either way, or an injury opens things wide 100%. Up for them. You've also got like the golden handcuff tier, like right after that, right? Which is Corum, Trey Benson. We've got, Marshawn Lloyd's been hurt, but Bucky Irving. Now, Bucky Irving might be the one, dude. Like, man, going back and watching Bucky Irving this preseason, I'm like, okay, Bucky Irving is the opposite of Rachaad White.
True.
Like he actually just gets the ball and he's like, oh, look, I have space. I'm going to take it like right here. And he has really good footwork. Rashad is like more Le'Veon Bell. It's like he's like a punt returner. It's like punt returners. They let everyone close in on them. Right. And then they try to make the one move and like go past everyone. Whereas kick returners is like more how I would explain like Bucky Irving. Like he wants to get moving forward and find the hole. So it's just like, it's very, very different styles. And like just hearing how much the team is kind of bitched, to be honest, about Rachaad White's style. And they gave him this checklist of shit he needed to do in the offseason. Now, by all accounts, it sounds like he's done those things. So maybe he's fine, but I feel like there's a crack there, man. There's a crack there and Irving looks good.
He does look good. He's like an efficient, non-wasted motion.
He's small
runner. Yeah, he's small.
But so is Kyron Williams. People forget Jamal Charles was like 192 when he entered the league. I think he left it at 196, maybe 198, somewhere in there. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, people take him in round 2. Achane, we're taking him in round 3. It cracks me up when people want to go into this size stuff.
The Achane thing. I mean, people being afraid of Devin Achane. Like, I don't know, man.
What's wrong
I play to win my league, not to finish 5th. Personally, is how I feel. This would be a good CMC, A-Chain, Chase Brown, Rico. That could be. I mean, I think you'd probably want maybe you toss in.
I would leave Ford out of that.
Yeah. Ford, not for me. But
the problem with Ford, by the time you really need it in this format, it's Nick Chubb.
He's gone. Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah. Unless Chubb gets hurt again. The other problem for Ford is they've already shown us like they've already said, no, we're going to give the short yardage work to someone else, and they've done it in the season with Foreman. Last year they did it to him with Kareem Hunt, who stunk. Kareem Hunt, like, I mean, he scored touchdowns, but he sucked.
But he was really
bad. They still
bad.
wouldn't give the ball to Jerome Ford. So,
all right, I did take Xavier Legette while we were chatting. I think we need a running back here.
I love Bucky Irving, dude.
All right. So
I like Bucky Irving over Braylon Allen right now, just because I think Isaiah Davis is enough of a worry for me that like it might be a split backfield between him and Braylon Allen. Braylon Allen's looked really good this preseason, like really has looked good. But like Bucky Irving, is the player that I'm just feeling it.
I always want to encourage vibes-based drafting as much as possible. Like if the vibes are good, you got to push the edges on the vibes.
Well, and the
I'm
thing is, like,
for that,
where we're getting our vibes from, it's not like we're just, oh man, like I just kind of like a guy.
Yeah, it's not like I'm just tossing.
It's like we have all these data points that we're stacking up. Like it's like, okay, here's the roster, here's this competition, this is what the coaches are saying, this is what the preseasons look like, this is what we're hearing from practice. So like vibes, where good vibes come from is like when all of those things are pinging. And then that's like when I start like getting like the spidey tingle senses like around players that honestly I just get to where I don't give a shit about ADP. That I'm just like, okay, like I want like Rashee Rice. I don't care. I do not care that he's supposed to go late, fourth round, middle fourth round. Just give it to me in the third. Like I don't care. Like the vibes are just too good. Bucky Irving's another one of those players right now.
100%. And Braylon Allen also has no ability to play his way into a starting role. Like, yep. He can't. Yeah, but Bucky could just play better.
Bucky could just play okay, and they get so sick of Rachaad White that they just give Bucky more work. Like he has so many outs. It could be him outperforming. It could be Rachaad White underperforming. It could be an injury to Rachaad White. Like he has more outs than Braylon Allen.
Who are some of your favorite backdoor tight ends once we get into a spot like this? Because we probably want 3, I would think.
Yeah, so sitting with Ferguson, like I could live with 2, but yes, I would typically take 3 on a build with him. Hang on, let me pull up my tiers here.
Jahan Dotson is still on the board. No one has selected him.
I don't want him.
I will not be selecting him. I'm going to go.
This dude could not earn targets when on a team that needed someone to earn targets. He's cooked. He's so done.
Yeah,
with Devonta Smith and AJ Brown, like Jahan Dotson might have 1 target this season.
Yeah, Dan.
Rashee
Rice might be a top 5 wide receiver overall. I think it's certainly in the range of outcomes.
So I like Hunter Henry late. What's our bye week on Ferguson?
7. So we're
7.
good. We're good on Henry. We're good on Juwan Johnson. We're good on
Noah Fant.
Noah Fant. Yeah, Fant is a good one for
Fant's going to have a record year as far as routes. I don't know that it's going to translate, but like yak guy. I'm still, people have really soured on Jonnu, but I guess I already really had this always baked.
No, I like Jonnu too.
Like people are like, oh my God, he's not going to play all. No shit, he's not going to play all downs. Mike Gesicki never did. They're going to have a blocking tight end they're going to use. Jonnu's probably not it. He's going to have like a 65% route participation, but he's going to still give you spike weeks out of that. And if you ever have Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle go down, knock on wood, hope this does not happen. But if they miss time, like he can be the second read in a lot of progressions, depending on how like Malik Washington and some of these other players, end up developing. So I still like Jonnu. I'll be honest, dude, I think Senate is back in plans now at the end of the draft.
Khalil Herbert with Caleb.
Yeah, I think he's fine. I don't think we know for sure, but I like him. Like Roschon Johnson sat out the last 2 games, so I don't know that we know like what the
what is going on. I can't find anything. Like what is going on with Roschon Johnson?
I couldn't find anything either. And then some of these things I don't look for very long because I'm writing like a freaking 8,000 word article and trying like my eyes are bleeding from watching film and looking at data. And it's like I searched for 2 minutes and I'm like, okay, like I looked at news, I searched Twitter, I didn't see anything, so I move on. But I went back and I looked for more on this and I could not find anything. Theo Johnson's another late round tight end. He's getting the right coach speak.
I'm like completely done taking New York Giants. Honestly, even neighbors. I'm kind of like I don't even know.
Oh man, no way. Like yeah, I'm still
I can't not take neighbors.
No, you have to take neighbors, man, because look, you're betting kind of on the same thing in the first round. Now Justin Jefferson's obviously proven, but you're taking a quarterback concern. We've got a guy in Sam Darnold that's thrown for 211 yards per game and play in games.
You know what?
That's at least 90%.
That's true.
So you can't. It's the same thing with Daniel Jones. They're kind of the same guy, but you get neighbors in round 3 when he slips the turn. He doesn't always slip the turn anymore. Do you have 33% target share in the first half with Daniel Jones? I'm sure you saw the drop where he cooked Stingley. Like he freaking baked Stingley, like just right out the gate. Like, okay, third play of the game, I'm just going right over your head.
And
Neighbors.
he's crazy. He's crazy good. Like I don't mean to doubt Neighbors. I just like you want to talk
you
about.
You got to stay in on him, Davis. You got to stay on. He's a vibes guy, man. Come on, you got to stay with me. Here's the thing,
how much Neighbors do I have? I've got I've got 10% of Neighbors.
Quarterbacks that throw on teams that throw between 200 and 225 yards per game, only 5% of wide receivers that have run at least 400 routes on those teams going back to 2011 have a top 12 finish, right? So it's going to be tough for Neighbors, but Jefferson may be in that same bucket. I definitely think he'll be one of the 5%.
I think I was going to say they're probably both in the bucket, but
he's going to be there. But 15% give you a wide receiver 2 season. And remember, my only cutoff is 400 routes. It's not even necessarily that a lot of those receivers sucked. So, I mean, they were on a team with a bad quarterback and they sucked. So I think like if I need to recut that data next offseason, I need to go back and like recut it to actually like target earners, guys that were target earners of at least like X%, and then like recut that and see like what it looks like. But you got to stay in on Neighbors if you're in on Jefferson, man.
Bang. No Fant.
Yep, I like it.
No Fant, come on down. Yeah, when I read, I'm gonna, as soon as I get off this stream, I'm gonna redo my rankings or rework my rankings. I think I'm gonna move Luke way up. I think I'm gonna move Luke up into this range right here. Not the Demarcus Robinson should even be drafted, but like Thielen, Pearsall.
Oh, I think I think he's totally in play right here. I'm with you. Like, I think you could take Luke McCaffrey as early as Liggett. Like, both guys are probably not starters week 1, but have clear runway, right? That by the end of the year, I don't see a way they're not playing. The teams are not going to be good. They're going to need to know what they have. So even if they think Olamide Zaccheaus is still like a better player than Luke McCaffrey by some chance by week like 7, it's not going to probably matter. Like, it's just going to be like, well, we just need to see Luke McCaffrey.
Corley keeps falling because it's only been bad camp news. The camp news is
that's confirmed. What we said about Corley coming out was that people were like, "Oh, he's Deebo Samuel." No, he's not. Deebo Samuel won on those kind of plays.
Smaller.
But Deebo was also a guy that could get open in the intermediate and underneath areas of the field. Actually, just as an athlete, wasn't the best route runner ever, but was good enough. Corley has no clue what he's doing, and the coaches are now telling us that. The coaches are like, "Oh, yeah, Corley." Every comment we hear is, "Yeah, he's great. We can use him basically as a gimmick player, but he's very rough as a route runner." So, yeah, I think that's going to take more than a season to fix. I don't think it's the worst thing with like one of your last picks if you're correlating to the Bills, or maybe you've got, Aaron Rodgers.
I'm sure is true. I'm sure Saleh does want to put the ball in his hands. That putting the ball in a rookie's hands is not the same as just having him play wide receiver.
Who's the coordinator again? It's Nathaniel Hackett, guys.
Yeah.
You can't trust Nathaniel Hackett to get any of this shit right, guys.
Yeah, budget Rashee Rice, sure. I mean, you decide what that's worth. I was kind of in the minority. I liked Corley as a prospect. A lot of my compatriots in this business did not like him I think Corley could still be something. He comes from a small school background. He was all they had, and he dominated. On pure stuff around the line of scrimmage. Yeah. Which still means that's kind of crazy that he was still able to do it, even though defenses knew what was coming. So if he can develop the next layer to his game, I think it could be really good. The problem is that's probably more than a 1-year process for a guy starting where he's starting from. So you good with Luke? Hell yeah. I thought you already made the pick. Why are you waiting? Yeah. What's wrong with you? All right. I am back in line for the Kamani Vidal roller coaster experience. Me too. I was out. I'm back. I watched 3 runs. I'm back in. I watched 3 runs and I'm also back in. I'm on Vidal. And it's just the whole thing of like, it's JK and Gus. So it's like, again, like piecing all the things together on maybe the best offensive line in the league. In my opinion, it's a top 3 unit with a coach that we know just wants to grind the hell out of it. So. Yeah, but dude, what if we wouldn't have gotten LMC? At this point, I like today, I'm going to make it a point in my drafts to be getting Luke McCaffrey personally. Yeah. That's what I agree. I'll be really interested. Like, let's see where his ADP ends up, but not knowing, I think like this is the place you kind of got to do it right now. My guess is he's going to move
past this. Like,
I mean, the Slappies have freaking Jordan Whittington as the 16th round pick. Like, they can do anything. They can do
I don't know
anything
what
they
we're
want.
doing with that. That's going to require multiple injuries.
By the way, everyone, after this draft is done, if we fill it quick enough, I'm gonna do. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna let Dwain do his fantasy life explanation of why you guys should sign up, and then I'm gonna hop in a big dog. So if you want to draft a $500 big dog against me, go and register right now. It's 7 right now, so we need 7 more. It's 5 out of 12. So tell your friends. All right, next pick. We got 2 more.
Where are we sitting at tight end?
We have Jake Ferguson and Noah Fant, so we definitely need a third.
Yeah, I'm with you.
In my opinion, I can't get here with the De'Ami Brown thing. I can't do it personally.
I think he's a fine last round pick,
fine.
but he's not someone I'm going to the hill on that I'm like, no, Davis, we have to take him.
Juwan, Colby, Gesicki, Dulcich, kind of like a lot of these guys, honestly. Sinnott went. I would have said Sinnott is
I was
good.
going to say Sinnott was the guy. Johnson's fine. We just need a third dude.
Yeah, he's fine. He's gonna.
Like, they're gonna rotate all these guys.
I was gonna say he's gonna.
That's what we thought anyway.
Yeah. Have I seen the Costco guys? I don't even know what that is.
What are our 17 correlations looking like? We've got Leggett and Bucky Irving.
We've got Leggett and Bucky. We don't
have any 49ers, right? We don't have any
49ers.
Goff. We don't have any. We did get the Seahawk and Noah Fant for Caleb.
Seahawk and Bears. We've got no Steelers with Rashi and Hollywood.
Van Jefferson.
No Falcons.
Or does Van Jefferson just make you want to vomit?
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather take Roman Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather take Roman Wilson.
Like on a team like this, like sometimes, like I would probably lean Van just because like we go Leggett and McCaffrey already. Because I still think that like I get the week 17 argument, but there's also just the viability of putting up points throughout the year. I do think Van Jefferson's gonna have like an 85% route participation. He's gonna probably have like 2 spike weeks. Like that's probably gonna happen for him. Can't tell you how big they're gonna be, Dave. It's probably like when I like maybe barely qualify as a spike week.
I can't.
But I do like Roman Wilson.
I'll tell you the same thing I told Rich when he tried to make me draft DeMarcus Robinson, which is that a man's got to have a code. There are some things I can't do. I can't click 15th round DeMarcus Robinson, and I don't think I can look my friends in the face.
It's so funny whenever we come back on after week 17 and you have me on as a guest and you're like, yeah, man,
Van Jefferson.
Look,
honestly, I hope so.
I'm kidding, man. I hope not. No, I don't want that. But here's the thing with Roman Wilson. I really like him. Like I don't love him as a prospect. I like him. It's just the whole rookie injury crap, man. It's like, God, like that is just not been a good recipe. Guys missing camp like this is pretty much like a big fat offer, unless your name's Odell Beckham Jr. or you're some like elite player. But I'm down for it. I haven't taken Roman Wilson much here lately, so I would be down for it.
What if instead we take Trey Tucker
or Khalif Raymond?
We
have Jared Goff.
I've got $13 worth of Khalif Raymond, so I could do that.
I like Khalif Raymond on this. I would go with the stack, honestly.
All right. I mean, I have not been a Khalif Raymond clicker.
Me either.
So we can do it. Sure.
Look, I managed to talk you from my whole plan was to start with Van Jefferson so that I could get you to say yes to Khalif Raymond.
We'll take it, man. We will.
I'm so full of shit. Like, that's not my plan.
De'Ami was already gone, and De'Ami himself, I think it would be a good explanation. Maybe he has blinders on, and that's why he never catches any passes. And that's why, like that could be. I do
think De'Ami's like. I've already said it. I think he's a fine last 2-round click. Like he's definitely going to give you a couple of spike weeks.
I mean, there are so many zeros. There are so many awful landmines out there right now. Like I'm not going to say it's the worst.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the guys going in this round, like honestly, we're all full of shit if we think we can actually really pretend which ones are going to be valuable. Like Tim Patrick, actually might. Like, and I don't like Tim Patrick, but I'm like, would it surprise me if in week 17, like he caught 5 balls for 60 yards and a touchdown, and that was enough to help you win BBM? Like, no, it wouldn't surprise me.
No, Tim Patrick and Josh Reynolds could definitely do it.
Tim Patrick is probably the wide receiver 2 in Denver, which just is not ideal for an offense overall.
Yeah.
So,
wow, full piss boy, round 18, all wide receivers.
yeah.
All right. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Rashee Rice, T. Higgins, Rome Odunze. Feel really good about all those decisions. Have no regrets on any of those. Kenneth Walker feel good. Hollywood feel good. We probably should take an Ingram over Ferguson.
Agree.
Although we wouldn't have taken Trevor Lawrence, so I guess it doesn't matter. It's just Ferguson versus Ingram straight up. Moss, pretty good. Caleb, pretty good. Goff, we had to have. Leggett, Bucky, Khalil, Fant, Luke, Juwan, Khalif. That's a pretty good team, brother.
I think it's a good team. Yeah, I like the team, and I never felt like sick about any of the picks like right in front of us. Like I never felt like there was a full snipe, so that's always nice. You never know how that's going to go. Yeah, man, good stuff.
I do love that. Okay, we had a question. Someone wanted you to talk. Nick Bird wants you to talk about Fantasy Life Plus for DFS. He thinks it's a great value, but would love to hear Dwain talk about their projections and ownership and how it compares to other stuff out there.
Yeah, so I'm handling the projections along with Matthew Friedman. So like we're grinding on those. Friedman releases his first, then I come in and I release mine second. We've obviously built back-end processes that, handle things, based on basically the way that our projections work. The way the model works is we're using the expected game script, right? And we're looking at like, what's the spread, on the teams. Then we're looking at the offenses. And then based on those things, like we are adjusting essentially based on historical archetype teams that were similar to these teams in the past and how they've behaved in game scripts that were similar to the way these played out. Right. So that's essentially how it's working. Oh, a pass heavy team playing in a shootout that's got, a total of 55. Like that's where the baselines come from. So that's like the top level. Then I go in and I look at them and I'm like, okay, like I do my manual stuff on that layer, and then that all bleeds down, to the players. So I really love our model. Like we launched it last year. We've been tweaking it all off season. So as far as the projection side, I can say I love what we're doing. And I feel really great about it. And then Friedman's kind of like my little wet blanket. Like if I ever get out of hand on anything and I get too high on something, he just like tosses it over me, and it gives me the chills. And so like I may have to pull somebody down a little bit in the projections for the week. So feel really great about that. And then like from a standpoint of rostership, like we partner on that. And so then we're combining those things together. I think that was it. I think I covered everything in that question. So I stand behind what we're doing. I'm owning the projection process.
That's sick. I mean, I have done projections before for NFL. It is an absolute grind. I don't miss that as part of my day to day. Not that I wouldn't.
Tuesday's a late night. Davis.
Yeah,
Tuesday's a late night. Tuesday usually don't get to bed till about 1 a.m.
Yeah, not that I wouldn't do it again if the right situation arose, but
it keeps me sharp.
Yes.
It keeps me sharp. But to your point, like, yeah, by week 7 or 8, there are times where I would be like, man, like, yeah, I'll be okay with not doing it, for a couple weeks. Just give me a little breather.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Give people an idea of what the utilization report is going to give them. And then we can send people to fantasylife.com and get you on your way, Dwain.
Yeah, man. Number one, Fantasy Life Plus, guys. We've launched over 30 new tools, so you go check it out. We've got all the ADP. We've got a draft companion tool. You're getting ready for your home league. You've been doing all these underdog drafts. We've got it set up where there's multiple different sites where we're using the ADP, then we're using rankings, and then we're using basically replacement points and things like that to help dictate where players should go in drafts. And like you can just run as many of those as you want to get ready for your home league draft because they're just so different than like what we get used to in the best ball streets. And again, a lot of other stuff that we've launched, in our rankings hub, but specifically for the utilization report, man, I'm very excited. So we're launching right now, all the math, everything is done in the back end. I've worked with our mathematician and we're going to have a utilization score for every player. So you don't want to come in and be like, oh man, Dwain, I don't want to nerd out on long down and distance and 2-minute offense. I don't give a shit. Like, just tell me like, where does this running back's utilization rank based on what he should be doing for fantasy? And so we're going to have that. And so that's going to be launching right around season start. I just had a meeting on it yesterday. So you guys know how tech deadlines and stuff like that go, but we're working hard to get that done. All the back end work is finished. So I'm super excited, about that. And then we're going to have some different views in the utilization report that people haven't seen before. Honestly, mostly all based off of recommendations from you guys and things that you've asked for that you like to just, and some things are just, hey, could it be easier for me to compare players, things like that. So yeah, a lot of new things going on, but Fantasy Life Plus is where you want to go if you want to do the new premium subscription for Fantasy Life. There's 2 different tiers you guys can do. But right now, man, you're getting ready for your draft this weekend. All of my draft strategy articles are up. They're not behind a paywall. So you guys get them all for free. And all of the utilization stuff for the preseason is also all out there for free. I'll be covering that again this weekend. Another one of those things sometimes, Davis, it's like a passion, but you get into the middle of it and you're like, oh my God, like I'm going to be doing this for like 20 hours.
You're like, wait, DJ Turner ran how many routes and why do I care about these routes? You're like,
exactly. And then I have to go watch the film because like I'm just a believer, like you got to go actually like watch these players a little bit too. Not like I watch the whole game, but like when I see the data, I'm like, oh, I got to go watch this player. And so I have to stop and do that.
You thought this dude wasn't grinding Ian Wheeler and Austin Reed film? You thought wrong, man. You thought wrong. This dude is the foremost Austin Reed ball knower.
Love it. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for having me on.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much for coming on. Everyone check out all of Dwayne's awesome stuff over at Fantasy Life. We need 3 more for this big dog. Dwayne, thank you very much for hopping on, man.
Cheers, man. Good luck in the big dog.
All right, boys. 3 more for the big dog. We need to fill it quickly because if it doesn't fill, I'm not going to have anything to do. I'm not going to hop in a BBM while we wait. But I am going to be leaving pretty soon here. I told my wife no later than 1 p.m. Central Time to leave here to go and get our new little golden retriever puppy. So every minute that you guys make me wait to fill this big dog is every minute more that we have to wait before I go get my new puppy dog. You guys don't want that. You guys don't want me waiting to get my brand new puppy dog. You are all about it. So we have 411 live concurrent viewers. How many of you guys have liked this? Probably not very many. Probably, let's go look right now. If I go look at my YouTube page, how many of you guys have liked this video? I'm going to guess, before I click on it, I'm going to guess 183 of you have liked this video. Is that going to be higher or lower? 120 of you are watching. One more. More than 122 likes. That is embarrassing. I really hate that. So get more likes. We need one more for the big dog. What happened to did my audio go out? I don't think my audio went out. My mic is cutting in and out. Huh. Minor glitch. You guys got it. I'm testing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. All right. That I bet it was just I literally bet I was just getting too enthusiastic with my microphone. All right. Still need one more for the big dog. Please like the stream. Please subscribe to the stream. Love looking at Best Ball Explorer and seeing 2 of my top 3 CLV games are Worthy and Rice. Pretty sick. I just created my Best Ball Explorer account. I will tomorrow on the stream. I will pull it up, and we will do some best ball exploring here on the stream. Thoughts on Brian Robinson and Eckler now? I don't think the trade does anything to them. I mean, maybe if I was still doing season-long projections, I would maybe move a small hair, like maybe like 0.5% of a target share to the running backs. All right, let's go. Big dog filled. Boys, the big dog filled, and we got pick 2. Oh my God. How much do you love to see that? Look at all these slow drafts, by the way. Look at all these slow drafts over here. This is what my life is now. Look at all these freaking slow drafts, dude. Look at all these. Brutal. All right. We filled. We got pick 2. Incredible. How can we complain about that? Who's got it better than us? Absolutely no one has got it better than us. All right. Who do we know here? I don't know. Trav Scrub. C. Geyer has been in these. I Am the Sims has been in these. Fantasy Stock Exchange, I think I know. Dorito 1420, I know. WD Simp 12 has been in these. Bone Hoggers has been in these. Hot Z Sauce has been in these. He is a sniper. So I need to remember that. I need to remember that he has been a sniper. And I need to open the draft board. We are on the clock. Nothing wrong with starting a draft with one Mr. CeeDee Lamb. Feel great about that. Love getting some high-stakes CeeDee Lamb. Sun Q is in this one. Good luck to you as well, sir. I hope that you do great. Jacob is... Oh, no. All right. It's not ideal. It's not ideal to be drafting against one Mr. Jakob Sanderson, but I'll find a way. I will find a way to manage. Not worried about CD. Not worried about Chase either. The only one I'm kind of worried about is Ayuk. I talked about that this morning with Jacob. If I would have thought about it yesterday, I actually had a call yesterday with one of the partnership guys at Underdog. I should have said, let's do a $10 single entry tournament or something named after my dog. They probably would have said no. Garrett, courage of his convictions. Jakob Sanderson takes Garrett Wilson at 109. Jacob, if you want, when this draft is done, you can come back on for like 10 minutes or whatever at the end, and you can talk about your team if you want. No pressure, but if you're around, you are more than welcome. You are more than welcome to do so. The AI generated chat summary. Viewers are congratulating their streamer on the new puppy, providing streaming feedback, and making roster suggestions for fantasy football. Honestly, pretty good. Chase may not play this year. CD will sign, but Bengals owner said they won't restructure Chase contract before. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man. My dog already has a name. My new dog. What we've already met my dog. We went 2 weeks ago to go pick ours out up here. My wife has also been name. How funny and how small the world is. Terrain stuff. Something is wrong. I wonder. It's my AirPods. That's what it is. It's when I take my AirPods out because one of them is dying. That is what it is. It's it should be fixed now. But it's when I have to take my AirPods die because I stay on the stream for so long, and I have to put one in the case and then I have to take another one out. Only my left one is in right now. I don't have my right one in because the right one is now dead. Oh, it sounded like I was saying everything twice, huh? Hard to say. I think these guys at the turn are auto picking because they're taking the entirety of their clock. Yeah, if it sounds like I'm underwater, it means that I'm using the AirPod mic. The AirPod mic is just horrible. It's terrible. Yeah, that's definitely what it is. So I will remember that for the future. Yeah, surprised I didn't take Worthy 102. Hard to say, man. Wow, nutted start for Jacob. Garrett Wilson, Nico. That's probably exactly what he would want to do. How many big dogs have I done? This is big dog number 5. Fareed, you guys probably know him, sent me a direct message about a week ago and said, hey, I'd like to stake you in some big dogs. And I said, Fareed, I would love for you to stake me in some big dogs. So we are doing we are doing big dogs, and I will be splitting the eventual profits when I win with Fareed, and the rich will be getting even richer here in the United States of America. Are we not just hoping Garrett Wilson's number will look like AJB's the past 2 years? Why not just AJB? Well, you'd have to ask Jacob, because I've got AJ Brown ranked over Garrett Wilson, but I think it's pretty easy to explain, actually. I think you just look at the historical usage of Aaron Rodgers' number one wide receiver, and I think it's pretty clear why you'd be doing that. Gosh dang it. This is not really the turn that I wanted to experience. I did want Olave, but welcome to the team, Devontae Adams. Welcome to the team. Oh, there you go. Big dog number 2, AJ Brown in the other one. There you go. That's as easy as it gets. A casual winning BBM4 was great for the best ball community, sure. Yeah, but very, very easy to understand why Jacob would split those exposures. I totally get it. In fact, I think I took Adams in another one, so maybe I should have taken someone else there. All right, I'm going to take Malik Neighbors. So a CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Malik Neighbors start. That's pretty strong. That is pretty strong. If Ayuk does leave, I mean, I think Debo I already have ranked as my 13th overall player. So I think he's already a first rounder, really. There was a single entry. I believe there was a single entrant who finished second in Best Ball Mania at one of them. I don't think Fareed, I did not mean to, like, that guy. I think when he said Fareed is a casual, I think what he meant is that Fareed is not a tout. Like, he's not part of the cabal. He's not on podcasts and stuff. I don't think that's what he meant. He wasn't saying that Fareed isn't sharp. He's just saying that he's not. Literally, all he's saying is that he's not on podcasts, which I think is true. All right. Anyone doing anything particular? Fantasy Stock Exchange takes Brees ahead of St. Brown and Chase. I don't love that. He takes Barkley ahead of A-Chain. I don't love that. Takes Barkley ahead of Olave. Don't love that. Rashi Rice here for WD Simp at 3. Better in this contest for sure. Where the law, you are not fighting so much against the law of large numbers. I thought Jacob might do this. He does drag T. Higgins up to the 3-9. We know what Hot C Sauce is going to do at 36-37. Oh, yeah, these guys are auto-drafting here. Bonehoggers is auto-drafting, I believe. Most billionaires dress casual. Sure, why not? James Cook, 5th round, is free cash in this one. Oh, maybe. We'll see. I probably won't take him, but someone else might. Yeah, Gretchen and Sean are very high on Garrett Wilson. I mean, I don't share the cabal's propensity for Garrett Wilson. I was a little bit lower on Garrett Wilson as a prospect than a lot of my friends, like lower than like even Karain, and I did not really agree on Garrett Wilson. So, you know, what can you do there? Tank Dell and Travis Kelce. Interesting that he did the Travis Kelce without the Mahomes play. Wonder if Bonehoggers takes Dalton Kincaid here. He might. 1 second. I need to text my wife back. Let's see. 9 seconds left. I wonder if he did. I think he should take Kincaid. How rich do you have to be to auto draft a big dog? So the thing is, I don't think it's about being that rich. Wow. All right. Hit him with the Bonehoggers. I don't think you have to be that rich to auto draft a big dog. I think that you just have to probably, like, these don't fill. So if you register for a big dog fast and you forget about it, like you were here, like these, probably half these people registered for this last night and it never filled, and maybe they forgot to get out of it, but then I tweeted the link and I'm live with 416 concurrent viewers or whatever. So then it filled way faster than they would imagine. But yeah, I don't know. This dude who drafted AJ Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Allen, and Jalen Hurts seems like he's auto drafting, and I feel for him because that sucks. That sucks to have that experience. I hope Or maybe he did it on purpose. Maybe this is hit him. Maybe it's hit him with the gritty part too. I don't know. But I guess what I hope actually is that he doesn't come back and then immediately start fucking his draft up and trying to get this one thrown out, because that is a real dick ass move. This guy here, Dorito 1420. Oh, someone said he was the drafters winner. He's the drafters winner from last year. So this guy sadly knows ball. When you take Worthy at 4-7, I can't take Mahomes. I'm the Sims. None of us can take Mahomes unless we want to take Hollywood Brown way above ADP. So that guy sadly knows ball. I wish he didn't know ball. In fact, I really wish he didn't know ball. And Trey frickin' McBride goes. Damn, that is exactly what I wanted to do. Man, I am down bad here, guys. Huh. Man, I don't really want to take ETN, but fuck. God, that is really annoying. I don't really tilt like that. I don't really tilt like that on the clock that much, but oof. Naked Mahomes? Do we do Naked Mahomes again? Naked Mahomes, Naked Lamar. No, I'm going to do Kyle Pitts. Man, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I just got put in jail. I just got put in absolute jail by the room there. That sucked. But I now have. I needed another quarterback out because I don't really want to take dimes. I don't really want to. So I have one quarterback out right now. So I needed to add another quarterback out, or I needed to take a quarterback. But 10 person final, sure. But I still like I literally do have a naked Mahomes. The third draft that I did was a naked Mahomes team. So I don't want half of my portfolio in this contest to be naked Mahomes, right? And now Fantasy Stock Exchange is gonna get Hollywood Brown at 68, which, like, whatever. Yeah. Dorito is oh, I feel for you, dude, because you played that perfectly. The chat. I don't think this guy's is Fantasy Stock Exchange auto drafting. I don't think he is. Maybe he is. I don't know. But oof. Not ideal. Not ideal for I think everyone there just felt in jail. I think this guy was mad that Worthy wasn't there. I didn't know what the fuck to do. I mean, he probably felt fine there. This guy, I'm the Sims, got exactly who he wanted. I'm the Sims has the best team right now. This team is nutted. Fantasy Stock Exchange, bro. Not ideal. Jacob went Pacheco, Kincaid. Kind of interesting. Well, that's not exactly how it works, because if you purposely mess up the draft, like if this guy comes in and purposely messes up the draft, then he'll get his account banned. But yeah, he's just auto drafting. Yeah, he's just auto drafting, so that's why he has Hurts. One wide receiver through 5 just to fuck with the Worthy drafter. Yeah, well, what can you do? I mean, it's not like he ruined anything for anyone. He's just drafting off the default. He's just drafting off the default ranks. Yeah. Oh, Jacob, you put the auto drafter in jail. 15 left on drafters, man. Well, shout out to you, dude. Defend that crown. I hope you do well. Who wins if SF and Washington exchange Ayuk for Terry? I mean, Brandon Ayuk is much better than Terry McLaurin, but The 49ers lose because they lose Brandon Ayuk, and that sucks for them. So if you lose Brandon Ayuk, how are you going to win a Super Bowl? Yeah, Fantasy Stock Exchange is I recognize that name. I recognize that guy. I mean, Washington wins because they get the better player, but San Francisco loses because it's like, what does Washington win? I mean, Washington's not going to win any games this year, so it's like completely irrelevant for them. It basically doesn't matter. Not having a very fun time in this draft, guys. That 4-5 turn can be so brutal in the new environment. Like it used to, we used to be okay when we used to be able to get Worthy and Brown and Rice there, but now it's all over. He definitely did. And now he took Kenneth Walker. I'm not really enjoying being on the other side of this board from Mr. Jakob Sanderson, but that's okay. That is okay. Okay. David Montgomery. Early David Montgomery. Sure. Oh, I guess it's not really that early, actually. Oh, the running backs are getting pillaged now. So maybe I'll feel good about where I'm at with the running back selection there. Yeah, that's why if I don't get Dak, then whatever. But when you take CeeDee Lamb, you want Dak Prescott. That's the entire idea. Are we sure Ayuk is better than Terry? What's the best OC QB combo Terry has had? I'm willing to bet it's not as good as Shannon. I mean, yeah, it's all been ass. But I just don't think Terry McLaurin's. I didn't really like Terry McLaurin as a prospect. He's not done a ton in the NFL to indicate to me that he is this crazy efficient player. I think he's fine. Fantasy Stock Exchange is not going to take. Yeah, that's so funny. That's so funny. He's taking JSN because he's auto drafting. That is very funny content. That is the type of content that I love to see. All right, we are up at pick 71 in 2. Chris Godwin goes. Fading C. Geyer, taking one player that I want. He didn't take him. He took Deontay Johnson. What do you win when you win? When you take Deontay Johnson over Hollywood Brown? What do you win when you win? What do you win when you win? Very little, in my opinion. I think you win very little. Seems terrible to do that, but what do I know? Maybe I know very little. Certainly possible that I know very little. Wouldn't rule it out at this stage. All right, through 6 rounds, Travis Etienne, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Malik Neighbors, Hollywood Brown, Kyle Pitts. I can either do James Conner, or I can do Ladd McConkey. McConkey gives me another quarterback. CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Malik Neighbors, Ladd McConkey. That's a lot of exposure. Oh, all right, I better take Ladd. Almost auto-drafted there. Welcome to the team, Mr. McConkey. Yeah, you can get Hollywood very late on DraftKings. Very, very late on DraftKings. We all love watching dudes spend $500 to go one wide receiver through 5 rounds. Well, it's true. Yeah, the Denver depth chart. I think the thing is it never got shuffled around. It just was. Mims was dead. Mims was dead the whole time. I mean, definitely you should, if you are a value-conscious drafter, Rabona King, you should be maxing whatever is going to overlay. You should be maxing whatever has the best theoretical value. So any contest that's going to overlay is probably a good one. Yeah, Mims definitely has more life than Franklin, in my opinion. Someone sell me on James Conner. He's a guy I just can't click for some reason. Would rather go Benson. I mean, he was like one of the best running backs in the NFL last year. He was top 5 in yards after contact average. He was top 5 in yards over, rushing yards over expectation. He was very high in broken tackles per attempt, yards before contact. He was just really good. I mean, he broke a bunch of tackles. In 13 games, he generated 2,500 yards and 9 touchdowns, and he did a bunch of those in games with bad quarterback. But yeah, he is top 5 in age. So don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm windmilling James Conner. But look at this look at this run when he came back from this injury. Like I guess he was bad in this game. This was the Clayton Tune game, if I remember correctly. And then he just started smashing. Workhorse on Arizona, go Burr. Big Kyler Murray guy, big Marvin Harrison Jr. guy, big McBride guy, big Dortch guy, big Michael Wilson guy. I just sort of like the whole vibe. Yeah, Connor will probably. I mean, I imagine that if James Conner plays in 13 games this year, like he did last year, he'll outscore Benson by 100 points, maybe more. Like he'll just be much, much better. What do we do here? Njoku goes ahead of ADP. Ferguson goes ahead of ADP. There you go, guys. That's why you panic your ass off at the 4-5 turn. I've done a very bad job adjusting to the new non-Chiefs 4-5 turn situation. I've done a very bad job. Jacob is drafting a great team. Garrett Wilson, Nico Collins, T. Higgins, Isaiah Pacheco, Dalton Kincaid, Kenneth Walker, Jordan Addison, Joe Burrow. He's drafting a good team. And obviously we knew that he would because Jacob knows ball. I really wanted to take Raheem Mostert with one of these picks coming around, and it looks like I am not going to be able to do that. Is there any chance that this guy on the turn takes Dak? Not really, right? Like, no way. So I should take a running back. It's more likely he takes a running back. Chase Brown, welcome to the team. It's just easy money, man. It's just easy money to take Chase Brown there. Bowers would have been good. All right, he takes Jordan Love with Christian Watson, so he did. Yeah, he does. He did have. I did see that he did have Smith, but Love was still on the board. Josh Palmer, huh? All right, Dak Prescott, welcome to the team. The team now: CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Malik Neighbors. Running back room of Travis Etienne, Chase Brown, Kyle Pitts at tight end, Hollywood Brown, Ladd McConkey, Chase Brown, and Dak Prescott. Yeah, I probably would have even taken Tony Pollard there just for diversity's sake. I need to go and edit my rankings before I go on this drive to go pick up my puppy so that I can do 91 puppy 3 fast drafts. I'm going to move what I'm going to do is I'm going to move Xavier Worthy. You guys think I can move Worthy to like, if I move Worthy and Rice to 31-32, then Kelsey, then Mahomes, do you think that will give me the intended consequence in these slow drafts? Or do you think that I should move Pat first? Do you think you do Pat first, then Worthy, then you guys tell me what way, because I'm gonna try and do 91. I'm not gonna draft them all. I'm going to auto draft them. Yeah. I'm getting a golden retriever in. As soon as this big dog is done, I'm gonna go get a big dog, and then I'm gonna bring my big dog home, and it's gonna be amazing. I can't wait. Yeah, you think Pat first? So you think it's Pat first? Pat. I'm not doing anything to McLaurin. I'm not doing anything to McLaurin. I'm gonna leave McLaurin. I'm gonna move Luke McCaffrey way up, and I'm literally going to delete Jahan Dotson from my rankings. Murphy is the name of the dog. That's the idea. I think this is to me. I think what's right actually is you do Worthy, Kelsey, Rice, Mahomes. That's actually the right order, I think. I did. I named my dog after Liam. I did name my dog after Liam. Actually, I just solved it. This is what you have to do. You have to make it, you have to do them here. You have to do 24, 25, 26, 27 for the optimal way to get the most amount of them possible. Considering that some amount of your picks are going to be at the 101. That's the right way to do it. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to enjoy that. I'm going to enjoy coming back to the fruits of my labor. All right. Jacob continues to cook, adds Dontavian Wicks and Javonte Williams to his team. I'm up. Oh, Sus Edwards. You're the man. You're the man, brother. I'm cooking up what I hope is a very funny tweet once I get this dog. I gotta promote my underdog link with this dog. That's the vibe. Need some people. Need my dog to generate some signups. Kelsey, Rice, Pat Worthy. Hard to say. I'm not a scientist, bro. But we are gonna get it figured out before I leave. Yeah, Luke McCaffrey is the biggest winner of this whole deal. Man, I am absolutely sweating my ass off for these next picks. There's like a very obvious pick for Geyer Fantasy Stock Exchange if he's here. I don't think he is because he just took Curtis Samuel, so he's definitely not here. Fantasy Stock Exchange, I Am the Sims, and C. Geyer. I just need one of them. There we go. How did he do it? How did Fantasy Stock Exchange do it? Is he here now? Did he just log in? That's not his ADP. Man, that's very annoying. I'm very frustrated and very annoyed by that. This is going to be a 6 running back team now, which is also kind of annoying. I didn't really want to do that. Frustrating. And Corum goes. That's extra frustrating. Man. Down bad picking at the turn here. I'm not taking Brandon Cooks. I'm not taking Brandon Cooks in a... Golly. I'm taking Trey Benson, dude. God damn, that was annoying. Corum and Benson are like the same. What is the difference between Corum and Benson? There really is not one. Man, that was a crazy annoying. Yeah, he definitely, yeah, I'm sure he is going off his custom rankings, but it's crazy to be auto drafting. Crazy to be auto drafting this draft. Crazy. All right. Yeah, I'm tilting pretty hard right now. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Well, I was gonna take Gabe Davis. No, you know what? I'm gonna add another wide receiver. I did not want any of those guys. I didn't want any of those guys. I did not want to take Gus Edwards. If it does end up overlaying, then it will be plus EV if you have good rankings, because the marathon is going to be the easiest format to auto draft. But there's definitely like there's 14 days left. There's 14 days left. Yeah, I don't think so, man. I'm back on the Vidal train. J.K. Dobbins is going to start the year, and then Vidal is going to finish it. I was definitely taking Gus for a while, but I'm more of a Dobbins and Vidal guy. I don't think so either. I mean, what should I have done any differently at any of these picks? Like, pushing Dak would have been stupid. Maybe I should have taken. I guess you could argue I could have taken Najee, Aaron Jones, like one of these veteran running backs over Ladd, but then my 5th wide receiver is Polk. I don't know. I think Ladd gave me another quarterback, which I only have Kirk and Herbert live right now, and I just added May right there. I think Ladd was needed on this team because I didn't take a wide receiver right here. So I passed on, Pickens, Kirk, Keenan, Rome, Jaden Reed. We'll see. We'll see. The other thing is I've taken Dobbins on another big dog, which means that my dollar exposures are crazy. Let's see how much. What's my dollars team? What's my dollars on Dobbins? $1,400 on Dobbins, which is a lot. So don't love that. Jacob, you should be embarrassed, dude. Jerry Jeudy in this economy. If you need 2 yards, Gus will get 3. If you need 5 yards, Gus will get 3. Yeah, Josh Palmer sucks though. Well, that's fine. That's fine that Dobbins won't make it back. Then I'll take Vidal. That's fine. No sweat off my back there. I don't really care. In fact, probably I don't actively want Cooper Connor over Etienne McConkey. Cooper here. Connor here. No, I take Etienne McConkey. Etienne's lower risk to me. What's my exposure to Polk? Pretty high. My exposure to Jalen Polk is 14.2%. Luke is going to go oh my God. The Jahan Dotson pick. Ty Chandler. All right, we are officially entering the doldrums of the running back position. It's what happens though. What can you do? I might not have a quarterback out here. I might not have the luxury of selecting a quarterback here. I might have to try and push it. Let's see. The London drafter took Kyler and no other quarterback. The Bijan drafter took Anthony Richardson and Purdy. So it's really about this hot Z sauce. Really want to stack. Does he have any Commanders? Yeah, he's got Mooney. So he definitely is setting up Kirk. So if I want Kirk, I got to take him here. How's the badgeless team looking? Not great because he's auto-drafting. Joe Schmo has 50% Luke McCaffrey. Shout out to you, brother. All right. We got to decide. Which quarterback we want. Do we want Kirk and Pitts or Herbert and Ladd? I think it's Kirk. All right, done at quarterback. Dak and Kirk. Very cromulent quarterback room. Turn, guy, snaps, Dobbins. That's fine. We're going to take Jaleel McLaughlin. Good there. I would have preferred anyone else, but no, actually, it's fine. Kirk, fine. That's why you got to take Vlad though, because I had that optionality there. Imagine how pissed I would have been without the optionality. Mr. was golfing this morning. How does the Jahan trade impact Devonta? It doesn't impact him at all. Literally does not. Literally doesn't matter. Should I pack my LMC bags? Yeah, pack your LMC bags. Ayuk is not going there. It's not happening. All right, for the audio listeners, through 13 rounds, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Malik Neighbors, Travis Etienne, Kyle Pitts, Hollywood Brown, Ladd McConkey, Chase Brown, Dak Prescott with CeeDee Lamb, Kirk Cousins with Kyle Pitts, Trey Benson, Jalen Polk, and Jaleel McLaughlin. Don't you go Dobbins first, since the turn isn't going to be Kirk, unless you'd well, it's not that I would rather Jaleel than JK, but like I said, I've got Dobbins already in two of these big dogs, and I don't want the entirety of my big dog season to come down to if J.K. Dobbins can stay healthy. Yankee is saying he thinks this confirms Devonta to the slot with Dotson outside. Sure. I mean, I also think Jahan Dotson doesn't mean shit. Dotson is just another option. They could play Johnny Wilson. They could play Paris. Like, it's just that stuff is so immaterial. They have two players who really matter on offense, AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. It'll be totally, the other guys are just out there to eat snaps. That's all it is. What did Bone Hoggers gets Adam Thielen? What a run for Bone Hoggers. Brandon Cooks, Jahan Dotson, Adam Thielen. Jacob got nervous and took Pat Freiermuth. Maybe he didn't get nervous. Maybe he just intended that. But yeah, it'll matter for Devonta if Dotson plays primarily in the slot. Yeah, there's no chance. Dotson has never been a slot player. That's why I think they were playing him there in the preseason, like very random, like for like almost like they were just like trying it for shits and giggles. It'll be really funny to check my tight end exposures, because like whatever dusty second tight end I take on this team will add $500 of exposure, and that is very funny to me to be randomly checking your exposures and being like, oh shit. The guy I needed the most was Tyler Conklin. Pretty funny. At least pretty funny to me. Jalen McMillan goes off the board. Could take a tight end here next. Probably wide receiver range, though. Couple good wide receivers left on the board. No one I'm jumping out of my skin to get. Also a couple running backs who are fine. Gino goes to the Sharp, Lockett, Adunze. That's a nice team. This guy's kind of cooking. Chase, Taylor, Diggs, Lauren, Adunze. Got Stroud after ADP. Got Bowers after ADP. This dude's spitting. Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening with this next pick. Man, where did Jalen Tolbert get peeled off at? W-simped, he knew yeah. Really wanted Jalen Tolbert. But, hey, yeah, run the likes up, guys. Come on, we have 401 concurrence right now, and you're not liking the stream? Do you guys hate me? How early is McCaffrey going to go here? Well, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. I'm going to take Luke McCaffrey in the 14th round. This is right where I'm going to move him. I'm going to move him right into this range. It's pretty, I mean, unironically, like on a Falcon stack, I think that is pretty big. I think he is an extremely good pick. And I don't think this guy is going to snap the running back that I wanted. But if he does, he does. There are actually two running backs I like here. And I'm fine if he takes either one of them. If he takes Vidal, I'll take Herbert. If he takes Herbert, I'll take Vidal. Marshawn Lloyd, huh? Well, let's check. Is there a tight end I needed? I could take Fant. That's a lot of Noah Fant. No, I'll save it. Let's go Khalil Herbert. All right, that was a good turn. We really righted it back on the ship. Yeah, I also miss the days of getting Tolbert in the 200s. Do you think best ball platforms will ever incorporate a chat feature? Drafters has one, I believe. I believe you can chat. Yeah, come on, he might. Who knows? Maybe Kamani will come all the way back around. No, he's not going to get past Jacob. Also, probably won't get past the Bone Hoggers. But yeah, Synod is a good pick for sure. But I'm not rushing I'm not rushing to get him back up the same. I mean, I think he's draftable, of course, but I'm not rushing to draft him the same way that I'm rushing to draft Luke McCaffrey. McCaffrey, I think, is one of the big winners here. What else do I have in terms of, do I have any big correlations live? There are a couple guys who are out here. No one I'm like screaming to get. You guys think I'd take another running back? What do you think for, what do you guys think for structure here? I've got a 2-5-7-1. Do you think this is a 3 tight end team? Do you think this is a 6 running back team? The Commanders are going to make us learn names in their wide receiver. I mean, yeah, you're going to learn Olamide Zaccheaus, I suppose. But Olamide Zaccheaus, if he keeps Luke McCaffrey off the field, then Luke McCaffrey was never going to matter anyways. And I think Luke McCaffrey is going to matter. And that is my opinion. Other opinions are available. But I am looking forward to drafting Luke McCaffrey right now. I don't think when you've got Dak and Kirk, you need a third quarterback. I mean, maybe if May is there, yeah. May just went, though. May just went at 182. Ertz is what hurts Sinnott, not Dotson. I mean, Ertz definitely got boosted from this. Wow. Jacob with the Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields. I knew Jacob was going to take Vidal. Yeah, tight ends don't matter that much. And I mean, that could matter. Juwan Johnson mattered, buddy. But we'll see. Jonu's there. Dulcich is there. Likely's there. Likely could be fun on this team. Need at least one more wide receiver, though. Could do. There's not really another Dallas wide receiver. There's not a Philly wide receiver. There's not a Washington wide receiver. Could take Treylon Burks in the 18th round. How about that? How would that make you guys feel? If I took Treylon Burks in the 18th round of a $500 draft as the bring back to Travis Etienne, or a Denver Rams wide receiver. This could be a Whittington team. Whittington in a $500 draft. That'd be pretty woke. Whittington. Whittington's pretty fun. Yeah, I'm going to take Jordan Whittington. Bring back with Benson. Shout out to me for taking Jordan Whittington in a $500 fantasy draft. Love that for me. If my bye weeks are good here, I'm going to take Likely. They are good. Yeah. I mean, Likely could definitely be, like, obviously Likely is probably a 0. But if he's not a 0, he's a good pick. Can't draft Treylon with the stream of best values left. I need to change the stream title again, so I can save it, because I literally am gonna walk out the door after I'm done here. Let's go. Best Ball Mania. Best Ball Mania. What do I call it? You guys, what do I name this YouTube video? Tell me what I name this video. Oh, I know what I'll do. Jahan Dotson gone. Luke McCaffrey to the moon. Jahan Dotson trade. Luke McCaffrey to the moon. Best Ball Mania fantasy football drafts. Perfect. There we go. Beautiful. I mean, can you beat that? Can you beat Jahan Dotson trade? Luke McCaffrey to the moon. Best Ball Mania fantasy football drafts. I mean, that is going to be as good as it gets. How could you? Oh, classic, Jacob. Jalen Naylor, 17.9. I love it. That's very funny. That's very funny, Bingo Bongo. All right, guys. Literally, as soon as I as soon as I get out of here, as soon as I'm done with this draft, I'm going to leave. So I'm going to get all the shilling out of the way right now. Please like the video. Please, 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 please like the video. Please subscribe to my channel. Please leave a comment on the video so that you can enter into the largest giveaway in best ball fantasy football history. Every time you comment once underneath the video, it is an entry into the largest giveaway you could possibly imagine. 5% of my earnings in Best Ball Mania 5. Yes, Noah, Underdog is dropping tokens. They're going to be so that you can get discounts on your pick'em entries, which is very cool. Maybe I'll be doing some marathons if I finish drafting a Best Ball Mania 5. And then please consider, you don't have to, but please consider subscribing to my Patreon, patreon.com/Davis Mattek. That is where all of my premium work is, all my written content, all my rankings. You can also get in the Discord there. That's what you want to do. You want to help me out, you want to support me, I would big time appreciate all of that. So please, you don't have to, but please consider it. All right, we got a 2-5-8-2. What do we do? Do we draft another wide receiver? Trey Tucker goes. Do we draft another wide receiver? Or do we draft another running back? There's not really a great running back that I want. Is Will Shipley here? Shipley is gone. Fuck it. Brennan Rice correlates with our other. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, boys. Wrap it up. CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Malik Neighbors, Travis Etienne, Kyle Pitts, Hollywood Brown, Ladd McConkey, Chase Brown, Dak and CeeDee, Trey Benson, Jalen Polk, Kirk Cousins, Jaleel McLaughlin, Luke McCaffrey, Khalil Herbert, Jordan Whittington, Isaiah Likely, and Brendan Rice. I should DM Brendan Rice. The thing is Brendan Rice is probably too rich. He's probably too rich. He probably doesn't care. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate all of you for hanging out 3 hours. Thank you to Jacob. Thank you to Dwain for hanging out. I am going to leave, and I am going to go get a golden retriever puppy. I hope that all of you have a very fantastic day. I will see you all back tomorrow. I will be streaming at some point, I believe, with Denny Carter. Don't hold him to that if he ends up getting busy, but I will be back streaming some Best Ball Mania drafts tomorrow. So I will see you all then. Good luck. Have a great day. And may your Luke